We
Very
must
good.
hear our beloved DM.
Yes. All right. Now we are all
Now I'm
set.
gonna drop you guys where you were.
Huzzah.
So you traveled northeast from All Saints to the edge of the Barrens and into Ves province. You were following some vague instruction from Eska about a possible um, fort where the king and queen would occasionally stay when traveling out around the countryside, um, belonging to an elf named Kita. Um, when you found it, it was under siege 1,000 years ago um, by swarms of shifted Veshans who had chased Adrian Holtzmann and Gakari all the way here with an entourage of um, evacuees who were fleeing from the oncoming storm that had just begun that morning. Uh, you stayed and helped out. This lasted a few hours. You got there in the late afternoon and stayed into the evening as night fell. And you helped to fend off those beasts, those shifted people, and the remains of Royal Guard Amaos, who had turned into a shining jellyfish-like creature that grew and grew and grew until Ambergreen banished him.
It spoke whispers in my brain. I believe it.
Oh yes, yeah. The cursed things crept into your mind, and even the ones that didn't speak or scream, they got into your head as they struck your blades and shields. But Keen took a lot of damage, and Montlarin took a lot of damage. But you all managed to come out on top. Ambergreen looks like he's pretty low health too. While you helped defend, the beleaguered Holtzmann was desperately trying to open an advanced gate to somewhere nearby Orbis. He eventually finished his spell circle and got everybody through. You watched his companion Gakari after he this, as far as you know, as a spell he must have invented on the spot, because he wasn't sure how to close it from the other side. It would remain open. You watched her toss him through and scratch out one of the runes on this side, and then you were back in the present. When you reestablished the circle and reopened it, the worker stepped through. The creature who has been lurking in the cave above Keep Silex to the far southwest for years and years, shifted at some point, 1,000 years ago, perhaps. He stepped through, and when you called him Holtzmann, he remembered. And then he had a heart attack and died in Alvis Taver's arms. It is now, probably 9 or 10 p.m. in the evening.
Oh, and I've already prepared or completed the Spare the Dying. That was the first thing that I did. Or not Spare the Dying.
Gentle repose.
Gentle Repose. Yes.
Oh, this time I've got a much better one for you. How did you do that?
I drag and dropped the picture from the handouts.
Oh. Well, I can. I think I can just show two pictures. That should work.
So I had to open the thing, right, and then I could drag and drop it. Nice.
Oh,
Adrian
yeah.
Holtzmann.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, did that.
But like that.
It won't let me drop it. You're doing it from the bio and info, or is it only you can only do it from a handout?
So what I had to do is I went down to the characters, I clicked on Holtzmann, and then Holtzmann's window came up. I had
you've got the
magnifying glass, and then I drag and drop
it
that.
It needs the magnifying glass for some.
Yeah.
So I can't do that from a character sheet. You're fine. Oh, that's very special. Then you're funny. Cool feature.
Same green eyes.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, that share that I did, does that let you see the actual character sheet or just the bio and info?
No bio and info.
No bio and info. That link doesn't
just the
work,
picture.
but just the picture.
Great. Good. That's good to know. Then I'll give you the other two as well. That bio and info needs to be deleted real quick.
These images are good. I wasn't there at the session you guys discovered the worker.
I don't think anybody here was.
Oh, really?
But I believe I still have it recorded somehow.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere.
I missed that one, so I never met the worker. I never saw him. So this is good to see the pictures.
Let me give you a refresher.
No, I did meet the worker, and I was with somebody who tried to steal one of his runes. I think that was Elvis.
I know it wasn't Elvis Tapper.
No, it wasn't Elvis?
Yeah, you might have been there. It was what happened was above the keep at Silex, that lone mountain to the southwest that you'll remember, the one where you had to deal with a very angry fire element time ago. You found this creature scratching at glowing runes in the cave walls, and they changed and ticked and talked like some inordinable clockwork. And as long as you didn't interfere with his work, he was perfectly friendly. The commission decided to let him be. Nobody was going to really bother him, and it didn't seem like there was much to gain from studying the effects.
And to go back and give him some magic items, like some scrolls, but we never did.
Yeah. Now that gate stands open before you. You see the cave that any of you who had visited would recognize as the cave above Silex, miles away from you right now.
It's a lot of miles, actually.
That is a hell of a long. This is very helpful for us.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But the worker shifted Holtz's body. Is on the ground, and you guys have to decide what you're going to do, because you are struck by two first waves. This has happened a couple of times before.
Yeah, I say we gentle repose him and step through the gate and travel to Orbis.
It's even southwesterly of Orbis.
Shit.
Yeah, the double wave is
It's
kind of
your
rare.
it's your very second keep that you ever got. The South
Yeah.
America.
How about the flower seed?
It is further southwest from there than it is from Orbis.
No, it
Orbis
is
is
along.
the closest to Silex. It's
Well,
right
then-
between Maricus and Orbis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
And-
that where there's that mountain there. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's about a half day's hike down the mountain to the keep proper.
Well,
We could
here's
go
the
to
question.
Silence. Yeah.
Do we wanna haul him back to All Saints, or do we want to go to Silex? But I don't think the skeleton crew there might actually have enough supplies for us.
What
Yeah, I
about
think we
Orbis?
want to hoof it.
Is the
If you wanted to go to Silex, they've got enough supplies to keep you for a week, no problem. That's true of any of the keeps around the country. But they don't have. They certainly won't have many new and valuable resources for you. That's for sure. They'll have enough to keep you fed and sheltered just fine.
okay? Well, that's all we really need.
But yeah, basically at this point, you'd be deciding between if you want to jump through this portal, you absolutely can. It'll put you a good couple of weeks out from All Saints at that point, unless you come back through this portal, obviously. And otherwise, if you go back to All Saints after you camp out, you'll have to do the whole march back, including past the Guardians.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Well, we have the banner. I mean, we should be all right.
Yeah.
You do have a makeshift thing.
Yeah, the only thing I would say, if we don't go to Silex, which I'm totally down for, is we gotta figure out some kind of makeshift door for this gate here.
Do we though?
I mean, it's a
Both
door.
sides have been open to the Redshift for 1,000 years.
Yes.
No, they haven't. No, it's been closed the whole time.
No. Not the doorway. Both sides have been exposed to the Redshift for 1,000 years. Yeah.
No, that's not.
Otherwise, he would not be the shifted corpse on the ground that he was. Right.
Yes, no, that's not what I mean.
No, do you have a wall of stone handy?
I'm still in paranoid dragon mode.
I mean, that's a fair way to be. Yeah, you have an active gate that is
I don't.
easily accessible by any creature that would wander into this little fort you've got.
It could be even.
I was going to say to play my own devil's advocate. The Redshift did want to get through that gate at one point, so now that it's opened, it may try to finish that impulse.
Exactly. Like, it could be a boar with,
We could also just scratch
a nice
a rune
horn.
out.
But
Yeah, fair enough.
I
wouldn't want to risk doing that and not being able to fix it, because it may be that we essentially repaired it 1,000 years ago and we can't redo it right now because Holtzmann's not on the other side anymore.
Yep.
You repaired it after Gakuru disappeared.
Oh, okay.
But
Does
he
it seem
was probably actively working on the other side still.
that part has some weight to it.
I'd like to leave it for now. Let's see. I don't really have any spells that will
Is there any remnants of the old door that was, blocking this area towards?
Oh, that is long gone.
Long gone? Okay.
Yeah.
I do not have Wall of Stone. I got rid of that in favor of Greater Restoration.
You might be able to, rather than barricading the port itself, you might be able to barricade the stairs or the. Well, probably the stairs would be your safest bet because that's the only entry to this particular basement. If you could find some way to barricade the stairwell from the upper room, you might be able to make it at least relatively secure.
Is there debris that's fallen in over here?
It seems to be like brush and stuff.
That is a tree that has grown outside. You're seeing the very edge of that tree.
You do some kind of plant growth on the trees and cover up the stairs and thicket.
I do have plant growth.
I do too.
Just make it a really thick thicket and connect it to the tree so it looks all natural like. And I point over here where I am with
horns.
Yeah.
Do we have 8 hours?
I think the one you'd want to cast is the one action for that.
Actually, I don't have plant growth.
Oh yeah, it's a 100-foot radius. Okay, yeah. In that case, I could totally do that.
Okay. So it's effectively permanent. It doesn't expire. So yeah, if you cast it using one action, then all normal plants in a 100-foot radius become thick and overgrown. So if you can roll me a DC 16 Arcana check, I will. That will be what's required to make a secure barrier over this stairwell. There's enough. This place is fucked up enough after the past 1,000 years that you can have weeds and roots and ivy and vines. You can totally get them to grow over this stairwell.
Can I help him out not only on the Arcana check but by using mold earth to bring over more dirt and food and material for it to kind of shape around?
I will say that's good enough for advantage. Sure. I will say that if you do this successfully, you might be upsetting the integrity of this building just a little bit, and I'm sure Smithy won't mind.
Well, okay. Team, I'm not gonna lie, I do not have high confidence that this is gonna work. We might want y'all to step into the courtyard.
I mean, we also have like fairy folk with us over here too. Miss Zia.
Amber Green, and we need to get the worker out of there.
Yeah.
Zia does not have plant growth. Sorry.
Not that kind of thing.
I can't move the body. I mean, I suppose I could drag him.
I can. Yeah, I got you. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's get everybody out in the courtyard in case I collapse the building. So that way it's just me and Nimbus.
May I have permissions to drag the worker in my mega structure of organisms?
I'll just move them for you. No
Okay. Okay. I just figured I'm already 2 entities as it is, just glomp on another one. I'll eventually inhabit a whole 20-foot radius.
Amber Green and Naya, you should step out.
You don't want to die.
Mezia says, "Come on, Mr. Knight, you got this. Just imagine a nice comfy nest."
I'm working on it. Right,
sure you leave a way out for yourself.
I trust you completely.
Was that sarcastic?
Yep, you should not. You should not trust me completely.
Bad rolls. You are able to make growth over the port, but it is only going to be enough to have the regular effect of making it very difficult terrain.
You got another one of those in you by any chance?
Yeah. Yeah, I have exactly one more, in fact.
Well, I can throw on a little bit more dirt and we can give it another shot.
I'm willing to try.
You can roll the Arcana again, but without advantage this time.
Fair
Oh.
enough.
Oh goodness. So
If,
What was
if
that?
you if you hit the 16 this time, then you'll be able to spend the second spell slot to do what you're going for.
Sounds
so
good.
this building is 1,000 years old. I've seen buildings that are 80 years old that crumble. Oh god.
Oof.
Okay, so it remains simply very difficult terrain.
Yeah, we're probably going to want to like cut a log, like cut a tree down or something.
Also, I
but
want
you've
to
got-
heal Montlarn as soon as we stop.
You've got like
somewhere.
a waist high barrier of like vines and roots and whatnot over these stairs. It wouldn't be too hard to kind of climb over it if you had to from either side at this point. But you imagine this kind of thing would probably stop a not particularly motivated, like pig or something.
Well, I'll take it for now. We'll definitely have to come back here immediately with Dickinson's fancy tools.
Yeah.
Because I think this is likely going to be where the next obelisk goes.
It's a really good location for a forward operating base. I agree.
It is.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Can I heal Montlarn now, please?
Don't waste your spells. I'll just I'll focus on healing myself when we.
I have spell slots.
Yeah. We might run into something else along the way though. So like,
Okay.
the next short rest, I can just burn hit dice, so I'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's getting late. Do you guys want to camp out in this building?
Redshift just went boo.
Yeah, I was gonna say we just got the double
We're
redshift.
pretty close to it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Redshift just went boo.
Do
Well,
you guys want to feel like you
the
need to
alternative would be to use the damn portal and get out of here.
Yeah. The Redshift
Yeah, the
just
problem-
went boom.
The problem with using the portal, as I see it, for what it's worth, is that all of the resources we would want to access, say during the downtime of the Redshift, are not going to be where we are.
Right.
Yeah.
Force march.
I think we
So
just,
march.
force march to take the one exhaustion, but cut it off at one. Because we can long rest that off when we get back.
Well,
Yeah,
the other thing to remember is that we got to deal with the guardians every single time.
So
Yeah,
long
you
as
still
that
have
banner's
Just
up.
getting off of the plateau, we're going to have to deal with them every 10 minutes.
You
I
still
know,
have
somebody give me a drink of water. I'll start playing the song.
All right, I can fly somebody out of here.
We
Only
have
one.
the banner. Like we know what to deal. We know how to deal with the Sentinels. I think
Yeah.
we'll be all right.
All right.
How fast does that thing move?
What thing?
That giant
The Redshift.
shift.
It's always been slow enough that you're able to outpace it at normal travel pace.
Oh, okay. So if we force march at a fast pace, like grueling pace, in Oregon Trail terms, then we should be good to go.
Yeah, so you're gonna let's see. It'll be for every additional hour that you travel, starting now, it'll be a Constitution saving throw at the end of each hour, with the DC being 10 plus the number of hours. And on a failed saving throw, you suffer a level of exhaustion.
Since we're near Montlarn the entire time, can we get a 13 using his bonus?
Um,
It is a saving throw.
yeah, I guess you'd all be roughly in range for that.
Woohoo!
Uh,
I mean, just 1 hour, and if people get exhausted, we can always pull back a little, but just to create a little distance initially here.
Albus Tower, Keen can only move at 5 feet per round right now.
Yeah.
How
That's
heavy is Keen?
Very.
not
Okay.
possible, guys.
What are you talking about? Like
I'm
horses.
saying
I make horses. I make horses. We're
for
fine.
Keen.
You can carry Keen. You can literally carry Keen. I know you're strong enough.
Keen,
What?
Actually, I thought
like
I thought
3
Keen was
times
super
bigger than
heavy.
him.
Yeah,
was
what
that?
are you talking about? I can't.
Oh wait, I take that back. I thought. Yeah, no.
She's not.
I can
Back to
push.
Keen.
I can push drag or lift 300 pounds.
Wow, that's a
A
lot.
lot more
But
than
yeah,
me.
that's also you moving at 5 feet per round doing that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, the steed's doing the moving for him. So
Okay, so if I fly, can I fly Keen out of there? Do I have a flight weight to consider?
What's the strength of your creature?
giant eagle?
Just a second.
or Montlarn has we could just strap it to him or something. He's a strong lad.
You want strength or speed?
I need strength for that.
Strength is 16 plus 3.
So 16 times 5 is what? 80?
Oh,
You'd be encumbered by Keen, for sure. She's somewhere in the range of like 200 to 250 pounds.
okay. Nope, that's not happening. Sorry.
Maybe look at
How much does Keen weigh?
It's like up to 200 pounds.
Okay. If I don't ride Bet Mountie, but you do, Alvis, you and Keen can be carried by Bet Mountie.
Is
What's
awfully generous.
Batmani's strength?
18.
Wow.
Wow, he's a
So
strong
who's going
horse.
to carry the worker then?
Oh, right, because horses do it times 2, right?
Yeah, so they get 540
Can we get your
pounds.
floaty thing, Nimbus? To carry the
Because they
worker?
get another times 2 because they're large, right?
Oh, Naya
Yeah,
could maybe do
It's
a.
15 times 18 times 2. It's 540 pounds.
What if Naya did a draft horse instead of an eagle?
Don't forget that.
Funny, I just thought it.
Mont, don't forget that's the maximum. We use full encumbrance, so it's times 5. Otherwise, he gets slowed by 10 feet.
Okay.
But
So
But
do
even
large-
so, even if it was half of that capacity, they would still be okay, those two, because Alvis is light, right?
Yeah, I weigh like 50
it's
pounds.
it's 18 strength, and then
What if I
your-
did draft horse
so-
Naya?
so,
I
18
think Draft
plus
Force Naya
4.
might be too slow.
yeah,
Speed is
Either-
40,
yeah, that's a little slow. Because
but it's not as slow as Naya is.
Bet Mountie a warhorse, right?
Naya's encumbered, so she's always slow.
Does the warhorse not have a fucking good pull? Doesn't have the ability?
No.
Wait, neither does the draft horse? What is wrong with these stat blocks?
Draft horse is like 22 to strength.
Yeah, what's a draft horse
And a
for?
speed
It's not
40.
pulling shit.
Right. I mean, that speed
Oh,
is more than Naya has.
Beast of Burden is a mule ability that it allows it to be considered large for the purpose of determining its carrying capacity.
Well, I pulled up mule, but it had less strength, so let me get that.
Yeah, let me check lift and carrying. Large creatures for each size double the carrying capacity. Okay, so
Yeah, if you have a 22 strength as a draft horse, you could carry a shitload.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Warhorse is 18 times 10 is how much he can carry because he's large. So that's actually only 180 before he gets slowed down a little bit.
And since Naya has seen
Wouldn't
that
that
bounty,
be
can she
360
become a
though?
war
Because it's a
horse?
large creature?
Well, that accounts for the large. Because normally it would be
I don't
25.
I don't understand then.
It's normally times 5.
No,
Before
the
you-
thing I don't understand is why literally everything I'm reading on the internet says 540 pounds.
Because they're counting, they are not using the full encumbrance rules. Because they're using the Skyrim rules where you can hold 540 pounds and then you pick up a toothpick and then you stop moving. Hang on.
Oh,
I'll
no,
just-
here it is. I got it. Yeah, so it looks like it could pull a cart with a capacity of about 1,800 pounds, but otherwise it's still just 5 times its strength.
Oh wait, is that why?
We're still less than half, though.
Okay, so
We would
I've
still
got
be encumbered, though. Yeah.
still got strength 18 plus 4. Large
Yeah,
beast.
that's the same as Bet Mountie.
Okay. And a speed of 40, which is higher than Naya's.
You know,
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If Bet Mountie takes the 10 speed penalty, then he goes up to being able to carry 360. In which case, yes, he could carry Albus Taver and Keen. He'd just take a minus 10 to speed.
And his speed would be 50, so he'd still be faster than a draft horse.
On a side note, Serb, since I have seen these things, can I be either a phantom steed or a warhorse?
You can't be a phantom steed. You could be a warhorse, I think. Well,
Phantom Seed is too.
Okay,
Can
I
you
don't
do
have a
large
token for
beasts?
that. Yes, I already have draft horse, which is large.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, warhorse is available for you. Yep.
Okay.
Well,
So if we need another one,
we
Naya
want
could produce that.
to do this highly dangerous and exhausting run. I guess we can.
It's not really that dangerous. It's just exhausting.
What?
You're gonna need somewhere to strap Holtzmann to as well. Now,
What about Nimbus's flying thing, disc?
that
I think
takes
that
just
is
as much.
slow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's slow and it takes just as much effort to get out of Phantom Steed.
Well, what I'm looking at is something to carry Holtzmann.
I can carry a Holtzmann on a Phantom Steed. That's not a problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phantom Steeds don't seem to have much of a weight limit.
It's not the
They
strength.
they have
They use the
a
statistics for a riding horse.
Famous last word.
except that it has super speed.
Well, but according to what you posted, Nimbus, it's the range. The speed is 30 instead of 40.
Didn't you also say that we might meet up with something maybe in the middle of the ridge? That's why she should save her spells.
Yes.
Right.
Right now, with what we're proposing, no one is casting more spells than we would have cast anyway.
No, I know. We're gonna get exhausted, maybe. Actually,
Sure, and
Well,
then we're
I'm-
going to long rest for 2 weeks.
Right. The problem is I
every
can only
hour.
wild
How
shape
many
for like
hours
8
are
hours.
we away from the next drop?
Well, let's see.
If we're-
If you're using Bet Mountie, you're gonna have to travel at 50 miles per hour, or not 50. Jesus Christ, 50 feet.
50 feet.
Yeah, I was like,
Turn.
damn.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a winner.
which is 5 miles per hour.
Yeah. So
It's a hex
we'll
an
have-
hour, basically.
Yeah.
Almost 1 hex per hour.
How many hexes are to where we go?
Oh, let's go to the world map.
Well, it was like 4 days to
Yeah.
get here.
And
How about
Albus,
the
not
trash button
to...
on this map.
Oh, no.
We're gonna.
Albus, not to cut your feet out from under you, but we don't have to outrun. We don't have to do this in a single run. We just have to put enough space between us so that we have enough time to rest. Remember, we're faster than the Redshift.
Only at normal travel speed.
We're going faster than that at 50.
You are.
Yeah. It's only 3 hexes away from us.
Is it?
What?
It's only 3 hexes away. This is incredibly stupid. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it under protest.
The Redshift storm travels about 4 hexes a day. Just about the same pace as you.
So we do need to move.
Normally,
we either
it normally
take the
travels
teleportation
4
circle.
hexes.
It has consistently traveled at this pace for 1,000 years.
Oh, okay, even during the double shift.
Yes.
Okay,
That's correct.
all right.
It has never to date gone faster or slower by any known record.
Okay. With that,
So we can go to.
got it. I guess
We could go to keep
It's-
Silex if you
Its
want.
borders have also
right.
never changed to date
Let's do it.
by any known record. There is,
Yeah.
in fact, like, if I haven't made this clear before, there is, in fact, like, a fence on the eastern side of the entire Cradian Empire. And every now and then there's a little fort where, you know, the people stay and just
Watch. They're like fire watchers.
more like stop idiots from going in. But
Yeah,
also, like, occasionally,
like
something,
Stardust.
occasionally something weird will pop out and needs to be taken care of before it gets to the farmlands.
Nice. Like a boar with pearl tusks.
Just like something. It's a very, very boring assignment for lazy soldiers.
All right. So I guess
My point there was that there is a fence at the edge, at the known edge, and that fence has never had to move.
Okay. All right. So I guess we only have to do this exhaustion roll once or twice before we can rest
Once
and
per
then
hex.
travel.
Once per
once
what?
per hex. But then
Once
we
per
can.
hex that you're. I'm just gonna let you move 1 hex at a time.
No, absolutely. We get to move once per hex, but if it only ever travels 4 hexes, then we only need to do it 4 hexes in a day, then we only need to do it twice because then we'll be 6 hexes away from it. ...
Yeah. Exactly.
And then we can rest.
What time is it, sir?
It's about 9:10 p.m.
Okay. So the alternative to what we're talking about, besides just kind of a forced march here, is that Naya flies somebody, one person, out on a giant owl. We're talking flying 60 feet, but a speed of only 5.
That'll still count as a forced march for you, Naya.
That's fine. Why? Now that I think about it, why?
You just got done fighting.
Because you're still traveling distance at that point. It's still like traveling, even though you're an owl.
Yeah, we're just like getting the flock out of here because the Redshift is like right on our tail at this point. So until we get an obelisk, we need to get the flock out of here. So our alternatives are let's go and go now, or we take the portal.
Yeah.
The portal will definitely get us out of here fast.
If everybody else says go, I'll go, but I'm doing it under protest.
What's your option?
I mean, the door's open. You could go the other way if you wanted, Albert.
Yeah, if you want to, go ahead.
Then I'm the only guy.
You just gotta climb over those vines.
What?
You just
Yeah,
gotta
that's fair.
climb over the vines that Maltmar and put in the way.
Yeah.
All right, you're small. I
mean-
could toss you over.
It'll
Yeah.
toss
It's like
you
a velvet
way out of the range of the Redshift. Way out of the range. You'll have to work to get back to All Saints, but hey, go for it. If you are very concerned about safety, then go.
Fucking.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't mean it
We
in
wanna-
a bad way. I was just pointing out that door is open if we're really that concerned about safety.
You would
I think
have
we're
to
going to be
climb
fine,
down a
personally.
mountain. You would have to climb down a mountain with Keen.
Yeah, I know.
But we wouldn't have to worry
That's
about
fine.
we wouldn't have to worry about
Why
the
are we still
Redshift being right
discussing
on
it?
our tail.
I was okay
All
with
right.
it
I don't know what
if everybody else will go.
I'm
I said I
going to
was
say
okay if
this.
everybody else will go.
Why don't we just go to
I just
here
think
for
it's
now
stupid.
and see how everyone's feeling?
I'm okay if we
Sure.
don't go.
That's what I thought
Just
you were
think
going
it's
to do.
dumb.
Let's all just go to here for now. So we'll do
All right, yeah,
our
feel free to move the
single.
token. All right, everybody,
on-
roll a Constitution saving throw.
One
Who's
save
holding
verse
up the
13.
banner, the makeshift banner?
I'll hold it up
Uh,
since I'm riding the horse.
Okay.
Constitution. And
Yeah, it's a
then
DC 11.
Okay.
And it's +3.
It's +3.
I guess that helps me.
It does help.
It does
you.
help
It's a DC
you.
11.
It saves your ass.
Thank you very much.
Dude, I swear. Hold on.
Because I'm all like, I think this is dumb.
Evergreen, you got this.
And then I'm like, I don't have a good constitution.
Hold on 1 second.
We're in it together. Nobody is
Better
going
as a
to
team.
hit you.
The first time I
Oh
don't
my god.
Yeah, but the first time I clicked it,
Oh yeah.
it's
No, that's
just
why
a
I'm-
little title to my cursor that said plus
Yeah.
something Constitution, and and it didn't roll the die, which is why I was like,
Awesome.
wait a minute, I swear I clicked the
Awesome.
button.
We're all gonna get shifted together.
All right, you guys. Well, you guys ran an hour, and the Guardians are ignoring you thanks to your banner. I assume, is one of you producing light so that they can see the banner?
I can.
I have
Oh, we have light
prestidigitation.
sticks.
You
Oh
do have
yeah, we
light.
do have light
Yeah.
sticks.
Okay, and yeah, I assume you'd be using those because you need to see. So
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
and your horses don't
Whatever.
have dark vision.
I don't know if I
No.
carried the light
Yeah,
sticks on me.
good
but
call. I
I
was
might-
gonna say some of us can see just fine. I don't know about the rest.
Yeah, screw you.
Part of the reason why I like the
Oh, I
light
do have a
sticks,
glow stick on me.
because I can actually turn the light stick into a directional sort of like hooded lantern type thing just by covering it up with my hand.
Now
That is kind
are
of cool.
Are you
Doesn't
gonna,
fuck with my night vision.
are you going to keep marching?
Yeah.
We got to at
Are we
least
still arguing?
Yeah, nerd learning.
no.
I'd
We
be-
I
have
think we
to
want to march
at least
until
twice.
we hit a level of exhaustion, right?
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We have to march.
Exhaustion will cause you to lose movement speed, I believe.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if,
What does
if we get to
exhaustion-
exhaustion, it's going to cost us.
Oh no, I'm
Can-
sorry.
can-
One level of exhaustion simply gives you disadvantage on ability checks.
Interesting. But we have to
We can
march
sleep
at
that
least
off when we get back.
twice in order to rest because the
Yeah, we need at
Redshift
least one
only
more no
travels
matter what.
4 things a day.
Yeah,
Okay,
to make
so,
sure
sir-
we've got a good safe buffer.
I'm looking at the exhaustion meter, and my unconscious meter is still checked. Could you remove that?
You can uncheck it yourself, I think.
Oh, okay.
I
Good.
think that's just auto checks when you hit 0 HP.
Yeah,
Oh,
it does.
Okay. Right. So at what point are we going to hit level 1 ding on the exhaustion meter?
When we fail that check.
Whenever you fail the Constitution saving throw.
Ah, okay.
So we need
Yeah,
to travel
Playing
at least
pressure luck.
one more.
No whammies.
Which I did, right?
Can I produce guidance for somebody?
That doesn't help on saving.
I did not fail that check. I thought
No, you
it was a
didn't. You
DC
get
10.
+3.
Oh,
The DC
It was
11.
DC 11, but thanks to the +3 aura I have, you made it.
nice. Okay.
All right.
So then we'll move to the next one.
All right, DC 12 Constitution saving throw. For
Yep.
2 hours of travel.
Oops.
Oh, there you go.
Uh,
Feel fine.
now,
I don't know.
Well, I had a good roll
Yeah,
last
right?
time, and now I suck. So you guys
Jeez.
are
That
fine.
is tired.
Making good pace,
Yeah,
but
alright,
you look
so
like
we'll-
you're falling asleep there.
Right. So this is, I mean, we're far enough away that we can now safely rest. So
Yeah.
Naya gets to go to sleep first. Maybe actually just gets to stay asleep since we have a party that's enough.
Yeah.
And then we'll get up early.
Yeah. So Naya, you've got disadvantage on ability checks until you finish your next long rest.
So this is different than a short rest.
You're
Yes, a long
gonna-
rest.
You're gonna short rest now for 8 hours.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna assume that you guys stop.
yeah. Can I click the short rest button?
Let's see. You guys
Oh,
need.
My bad.
you guys-
I already did. My bad.
Oh. Well, I was
Sorry.
gonna ask you guys if you're gonna plant that banner in the ground.
Oh,
Well, we
definitely.
need to.
Yeah, definitely. And then when I'm on my watch, I can play the song also.
Cool. Okay. That should cover you. I mean, you're going to bed around midnight at this point. But you're not too worse off. You can go ahead and click the short rest button. And that'll let you spend hit dice if you want them.
Oh.
Remember, you get half of your hit dice back on a long rest.
Well, I only have half my HP, so I'm going to use it.
You guys are ready.
But I don't remember.
I'll just talk about it.
Do I just hit?
If you click the D, what do you have, a D8, Naya? If you just
Yeah.
click where it says D8, it'll let you roll the health. Albus, you work through the night to repair Keen.
Nice.
Wow.
She's a little dented, a little scratched up. You might have to do some more work with the better tools back at All Saints, Albus Faber, but she'll be fine.
Wow. And that second Keen Neo roll was actually for me.
Oh, okay.
So I'm drinking some tea or something while I'm working on this, and I'm just like feeling really in tune. I think we healed basically the same. How do I change my health from the character sheet? Shit.
It's just the value inside the heart.
I can't do that with Keen.
Oh, with Keen?
Yeah.
You're right. You can. Don't worry about it, though.
Don't worry about it.
I will. Well, I mean, I could put her token on the map for you. Probably a good idea.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
There
our
you go.
tokens are on the map.
Her token is now next to your token, Albus Taber, in the southern coast near Orbis. So you should be able to edit the health value now.
Hell yeah.
Throughout the night, the prismatic guardians pop up and shuffle around in the distance outside of your camp over and over. Occasionally they'll approach, but they don't bother you. As the sun rises behind the Redshift storm, you can see it turn bright orange through the cloud and then yellow as it drifts up above it. The cloud is still small.
I've been working on a wake up call.
You want to play that while Naya's sleeping?
Only when it's now time to wake up.
I see.
It's my
He didn't have time to
attempt
do it back then anyway. He was wrenching on Keen.
The tower is the same size as always. It has not returned to its smaller height that you saw for a moment 1,000 years ago last night. You have no idea where in reality that fibrous, waving, sun-like creature ever could have gone. It seems unlikely to you that Dakari and the 2 or 3 people capable of using a sword could have stopped something like that on their own. It was enough trouble
Ain't that
for
the truth?
you with everyone there.
Yep. Pretty grim. Pretty grim.
But nothing bad happens till morning. So while Naya is exhausted until she gets back home, you all can travel as normal from here on out.
Can I remove the exhaustion by rolling A con save throw?
No, it's just 1 point of exhaustion removed per long rest.
Fine.
Um, but at this point, you're basically going 5 hexes a day, right? Or
Yeah.
no, you're going like 7 hexes a day, rather. You're a little less
Better than I
than
thought.
1 hex per hour, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it'll take you like 2.5 more days to get back to All Saints,
Okay.
and only another day to get out of Vest Province and away from those guardians.
Nice.
Um,
Not that they aren't wonderful.
Just doing their job.
Exactly.
Then allow me to bring you back to All Saints, because the rest of your trip goes uneventfully unless you want something to happen.
I'm good with not.
Yeah.
Funny things can happen. I think we'd probably just try to get back.
I'm exhausted. What do you want?
You're back.
I was thinking of calling it like the final hold. Nice pun there. It's a castle, sometimes known as a hold, but they also held the line there. And it was their last hold. See, it's very poetic.
I like it. I approve.
Pointing at my map.
Feel bad for Holtzmann, but man, he got an extra 1,000 years out of it.
Oh, by the way, please, everybody, since you're back, get 4,500 experience points each.
50.
4,500, you said?
4,500.
So close.
That is pretty close, isn't it? You just need to fight one more truth, I think, and then you'll hit it.
Christ.
Maybe a couple other things.
No.
Oops.
Background noble.
Yeah, I hit
Hey,
the wrong button.
No, yeah. I'm actually like, what? At 77,466. So I got
I'm at 78,566.
Well,
Nice.
don't worry. Next level's an odd level, right? So you all will you'll all sync up
Yeah.
as soon as you get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me just like 1
78.
second to get up.
566.
I've had a lot of fun this past 2 weeks talking with other people who play D&D 5e and talking about what's your favorite character and what do you play and stuff. And I say Dragonborn Druid, and they're all like, whoa. It's very fun to get those reactions because, like, that's weird and different. And now that I think of it, that's very cool.
Nice.
I like it.
I'm having fun with it. If Naya dies, I'm going to roll another druid. Just heads up, everybody.
Yep.
Sorry, Serb.
Good to know. Yeah, you're back. You're back at All Saints. Things are looking a little bit improved here. The place is slowly coming together with everybody's help.
That's fantastic.
So you have control of your tokens.
Hey,
So we need to talk to the brigadier.
yeah, we get
We do
probably the
die.
leadership together.
Yeah.
We have a couple of important pieces of info to disseminate.
Jesus, there you are. It was
Not dead yet.
2 first waves. Seems like something happened.
Yep.
It was
Couple things
literally that close to us, and I gesture over to the wall of flowers being over dramatic.
No exaggeration there.
Literally, the wall came that close. We had to split.
You were that close to the tower?
No,
No.
no. No, the Redshift got that close to us.
Albus is afraid of the Redshift.
We were gonna
Reasonably
get
so.
shifted.
We
But we
weren't that
opened up-
close to the Redshift either.
But also, I should inform you of the massive security breach that they just left there. I told them not to.
Yes.
Fort
We did leave
Silex is going to be invaded.
So
Sorry.
Silex
That is
needs-
not true.
Okay, but we need to get Silex on the horn and let them know that there is an open portal to keep Silex, that transportation location. And we need to do that right away.
Yeah, there's an open portal right where the worker, this guy, I would have the worker. No, actually, somebody else is carrying worker. I forgot. As much as I want to. Yeah. We found out that the worker, what they were working on was actually a portal directed right above the cave to the fort that we had found. And the worker himself is the Holtzmann.
Yeah, Adrian Holtzmann, the wizard we continued seeing again and again every time we went to the past. In fact, we found out how the Redshift happened. Well, the things that led up to it and its occurrence. Rather frightening.
She looks at his. Did you like bundle the corpse or anything?
I would
Gentle
insist on it.
repose.
Yeah, you gentle
Probably-
reposed him. Yes, but
Probably
I
wrap
would
him
have
up
wrapped
in
it in my
something.
cloak. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so she looks at this lump that you're gesturing at on top of that mountie. So
That was Holtzmann.
that's him right there.
Yep.
It turns out he was trying to bring his guardian, his hired protector back, who threw him through the portal and then stomped out a rune so nothing would make it through the portal. He was so stricken with grief, he was trying to restore the portal the entire time. It wasn't until
1,000 years.
I saw what was missing, the one that was stamped out. As soon as I was able to put it back in place and put energy into it, it reestablished.
And he came through
So
the portal.
you're telling me there is an open
Yes.
portal between
That is what we're telling you.
right now.
So Silex needs to know ASAP.
There's a security breach.
That
We tried to cover it. I promise you.
we used not Mount Lauren used plant growth to go ahead and twice actually to go ahead and create a not impenetrable but difficult. But yes, there is a breach.
Your best. Allow me to go. I will alert Captain Valier and
Okay.
have them send a team to investigate this situation further.
Okay.
Remind them of the explosive rocks that we saw outside. I don't know if those replenish themselves over time, but they are rather hostile. Roll something large over them as we deal with them.
Oh, don't worry. We've had Captain Valier has scouted out the entire mountain by now,
And we have
lovely.
at least a small obelisk there, right?
at the base of the mountain.
At the
Yes.
keep.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that was our option, was to just go ahead and teleport to keep Silex. It just that would have taken us 2 weeks to get back here. So,
Right. Well, I'm glad you made it back. Go get some fresh food in yourselves, and then
I'm gonna need to sleep for a while. Until
I'll take
then,
your
I
report
will be here.
momentarily. Let me
Okay.
allow me to just contact Silex. I'll be with you shortly. So she goes to do that. If you want to help her, you can, or you can take her advice and go get a snack.
Oh yeah. I was gonna go get a snack with Mont Lauren
Yeah, real food.
specifically.
What are you going to do with Holtzmann's body for now?
But yeah, that's why I'm with Mont Lauren.
Do we have
That
one
was
of these
actually
residences?
Go ahead, Nye.
What I was looking at was we should have already, hopefully, designated one of the buildings as a
Infirmary
storage facility
or storage.
that is not available to everybody. Other storage facilities exist for everybody, including the kobolds, but
I
there
see what
should
you
be
mean.
at least
You do
one
have, there
that is not available
a-
to everybody.
There is a valuable storehouse, and that would be the one
That would be
closest to Dex's workshop because he has some of the more volatile things.
right. So that is where I would suggest that Holtzmann's repose be where it is stored for now.
Yeah, somewhere shady, definitely.
Definitely shady, but also not in a place that is frequented by anybody else, really.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Let
shady.
it be real repose, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
After
exactly,
1,000 years, the guy deserves a rest.
He's dead.
All right. You can. Yeah. So there's definitely to the southwest of the plaza here. Dex has been setting up shop yet again. Moving a bunch of his workshops and work materials over there. And he's got a little single story place with a connector across an alleyway that people have been using for valuable storage. That building still has a roof, so it doesn't really have a lock per se, but it does have a latch for now.
Yeah, I'll take it over to Decus's space.
Okay.
Yeah.
And basically, I glare at anybody who even looks at it curiously. Like, this is nobody's business.
Well, there's definitely a couple of curious looks as you're.
Do we have any kind of a
along?
Do we have any kind of a time limit on how long a body can be in gentle repose before it must be something else done with it? Or
it lasts 10 days before
Yeah.
you have to re.
okay, so we have to kind of like get a move on a decision, but we at least have a day.
Well, it can just
You've
be
got-
refreshed.
yeah,
and
you've got,
it's not a very high level spell. I could literally teach somebody who's able to cast it.
I don't have it prepared, but I think I have that spell.
and
I'm
it's
sure
a
Dex knows
ritual.
it.
It's a
Yeah.
ritual as well.
Okay. Yeah, I don't necessarily
do
want
have
to
it.
do anything permanent with it, but I'm exhausted enough that I know that I need to rest, and I know some of the others also are quite tired.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. So
we need to make a
yeah.
decision, but maybe not today.
We have time.
You do have time. The Redshift is, relatively speaking, on your heels, and will be sweeping over all Saints in the next day or so.
Oh, we didn't beat it by much then. I thought
No.
we beat it by more than that. Okay.
Well, we ate up that time sleeping.
Yeah.
Because we were resting and
Right,
camping
okay.
each time it got a chance to catch
I'm
up.
sorry if I
You got-
slowed everybody down.
No.
Bad
No,
rolls
no.
are bad rolls. My bad.
We were gonna make it the whole time. Like, there was no danger or anything. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, Ma, so you're leading Betnati by the reins basically through the street, right?
Yeah.
I'm following up on his rear.
Nissan will run up when they see you and say hello.
Is that the kids? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. I will nod to Neitson, but I'll also give them a sort of like, hey, this is adult stuff. Look,
And then I'll
Kids absolutely hate that shit. So
and then I'll cut them off.
Roll persuasion.
Can I give him advantage by doing the whole cutoff thing?
I just want to see how persuasive he is. first.
Okay.
No, he's persuasive enough.
He'll
However, those children it might be good to show them what death looks like and what the redshift looks like.
they'll pause long enough to. Obviously, are you gonna intercede directly with the?
Oh no. It wasn't going to be a direct intercede or anything.
Okay.
It's just I was already like coming up on his rear. So if they were running up, he would be like getting closer in the movie or whatnot, and Alvis Tapper and Keen would be all small and sneaky and kind of come in between them, not being aggressive.
Move to
But
intercept.
Got
Right.
it. All right, interception successful. Needson will pause, maybe trail 20, 30 feet behind.
yeah, I'll even give him a smile too. This is not aggression.
Um,
I'd
are
probably also
you
be
heading
joining
for
them for
Dex's
this.
workshop? Because you'll probably find him in his workshop.
Yeah.
Okay. If you knock on the door, it swings open because nothing is really locked here yet.
Right.
He turns around from unpacking one of his gadgets and starts, and he says, "Oh, you're back. Good. Hey, welcome. How did it go? Everybody alive, I hope."
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely.
The
Didn't
redshift
go
was
exactly
like
perfectly.
10 feet away from us. I could have stuck my fingers in it.
We
I
learned
hope
some
that's
threw a
an
rock through it.
exaggeration.
We learned some things. Sir, can you move the worker's body down here?
Absolutely.
But more importantly, Decus, we were hoping that we could get your help with something, something important. And
I-
I'll
Very
bring
important.
Bat
I'm
Mountie
always here to help.
closer. And I'll say, this is the body of Adrian Holtzmann. You may have heard us talk about him a few times.
He is a man that, and I don't say this readily about most people, I don't like kissing ass. This is a man who may even rival you in intelligence and creativity.
He hurries up and he'll take the bundle off from
And he lasted 1,000 years in this state, shifted.
oh
That is a lot of persistence.
Is it all right if I unwrap the?
He's in gentle repose.
He's
All right,
preserved.
We need to figure out next.
Okay. Okay. Come in. He'll lay him down on the floor next to the nearest desk and undo the wrapping. So, say, oh, hold on. I've spoken to this creature.
You have? Really?
Well, yeah.
He met
but
the worker, right? Yeah.
While we were at. Wait.
Wow. I wasn't there when we met
How is
him.
it possible?
He lasted
The thing
1,000
that he
years.
was, yeah, the thing
Gifted.
that he was trying to work on there with the runes that he was going through on the wall, that was the part of a spell that he had invented to try to get people out of the area when the redshift was coming. What happened though is his bodyguard Gawker threw him through the portal and scratched out one of the runes, closing it behind. And it seems that Holtzmann tried to reconfigure the portal so it would open again to get Gakuri out, but just ended
And one way
being
or
stuck
another, the
there.
redshift found him eventually, huh?
Yep.
Well,
but through his
he lived-
persistence,
He lived despite being shifted. And he
Maybe-
just persisted all those years.
It might have been that he was spared by the Redshift because he partially helped to create it. Maybe yeah.
He lost himself though.
Only remembered in the end.
Right. He only remembered who he was in the end.
When we reminded, then he had a panic attack.
Heart attack, whatever.
I
wondered
kind of
if 1,000 years ago, if the Redshift didn't take from him his determination to stop it.
Yeah.
That's
The
grim.
truths it manipulated.
Right. Until this moment, I had not considered what the Redshift's effect on your conscious brain as it happens is. I've always just thought, well, you must be gone now. You must be lost.
Right.
The transition.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway,
quite
Judges,
amazing to think about the level of determination required to live for 1,000 years, no matter your state, no matter your form.
in all
That
fairness,
persisted of all things was that determination to continue.
right, to save his friend, even though he forgot why.
I never would have fathomed, but this means then the portal is reopened.
Yeah.
Did you reopen it?
Yes.
Yes.
We didn't fully block off passage through it either, but Brigadier is
big old
handling that right now.
security breach.
Yeah, the
I guess you
Brigadier's
should know
working
about
on that.
too.
Oh,
For the moment, we're going to probably seal it off, not by destroying it, because think about
no, don't destroy it. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I want to see it. I need to study it. This could. I mean, this is an.
It's
it gets
proof of my
us from
statement, isn't
Silex to basically what needs to be our forward operating base.
Yep.
I mean,
It cuts all the way across
shortcut of
the.
nearly 300 miles. This is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's proof of my statement.
That's why I didn't want us to destroy it, because this is something
it is
that's truly
huge.
useful for us.
And that guy built it.
That guy.
But
the
one of the
person most likely to have the answers we need.
Yep.
He told us all about what happened, the magical device that they had, and a tool that was created to try to replicate realities where the daughter of the Veshan royalty was not sick, and put those replications into the living, well, soon barely dying, ill daughter of theirs to cure her. It appeared to be a success initially, but we don't know what happened in there.
What
What
said is
happened
that
in the secretary was tasked with cleaning up everything
the operation.
afterward. And we don't know if there was some sort of accident or incident, but the tower was not giant like it is now. It grew in the first Redshift incident. It grew large.
Yes.
It grew all the way into the sky. As
They
the
barely
clouds
had
started
enough time
forming.
to react. Yeah, they barely had enough time to react. Very similarly, Lucent, I noticed she arrived and, of course, ran up towards her. A person similar to your position, captain of the guard, was it? Jumped in to go save one of his men and was turned instantly to a giant creature that we met and had to do battle with. Truly terrifying. It whispered secrets into all of our minds.
Stupid. I'm sorry you had to deal with that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Dex says, so you saw the past again. You saw the day the Redshift started?
Yeah.
Only the aftermath.
Just after.
Just after. But from what was gathered, my implications point towards the secretary perhaps doing something out of ignorance or or through an accident or maybe not malicious intent. And this is why the Redshift is here. I would even say why the Redshift is red. Holtzmann confirmed, at least in the short time that we had to ask him various different questions. I asked him about the workings of ERISA and the proxies, and they use a red crystal system. I don't know much more beyond those words, but
Well, we've seen it ourselves.
yes, yeah, we've seen it, but we don't know much about how it works. I would say that any testing that Decus has done since us giving it to him or Smitty, that's as much as we know about it.
Jack says, "Yeah, yes, it's the crystal mind structure. You can. It's easy to understand if you think of it as though a brain, but made artificially."
Yes. So the only reason why I implicate the secretary, and I don't mean to put this on as any sort of a thing of aggression or anything like that, is that the Redshift as a cloud likewise seems to have a personality about it. You just said the words that I've been thinking this whole time that connects the crystal to the Redshift to the secretary, and that is the secretary is supposedly this big intelligence that has knowledge enough to put together a machine with Holtzmann, a man of your kind of genius. Imagine if you had the perfect assistant librarian to the point where this assistant rivaled you in certain aspects, sort of was your opposite, right? The other side of your coin. You were able to do something great together, right? There are many scenarios you can come up with afterwards of why that assistant might reuse a machine after a successful operation. But getting back to the implication, the crystal is like the secretary's brain. The Redshift seems to be the limit of the affected, or the effect of this personality that seems to guide the Redshift. I can't say that's not just a coincidence.
The brigadier flexes her fingers and she says, "You do think that in that tower, this secretary might be behind it all?"
Perhaps whether it was an whether it was an accident or on purpose, I'm not willing to say. That would bias me. It could also be not the secretary of this world. Holtzmann said that he pieced together the princess through finding other worlds that had the bits that he deemed necessary. Whether it was a cascading effect of the secretary trying to fix things, or another secretary noticed something was wrong and then likewise tried to mess with the operation, and there's a battle of secretaries that happened and one of them was shifted. Like, I'm not willing to go in this kind of speculation. It's just a rabbit hole of potentiality. All that I am certain of is that Aelita, that's the name, the secretary, is involved in the conscious actions that we have found in the Redshift. Sorry, I was reading the text. The rabbit hole is what I was about to call it. In the rabbit hole.
Fun.
Jack says, it's a logical sense based on everything we've seen so far. Crossing into other worlds with the. That was what you said Holtzmann was talking about when you saw him here at all.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah.
adds too much of a physicality to it, as if it's connected to us at all. I'm willing to say it's something even beyond what Nimbus comes from, the planes. It's alternate realities.
Oh yeah, different versions of dimensions, different possibilities, potentiality.
Yes.
I've certainly dabbled in study, but to think that the idea of being able to find a world that is so that is barely diverged from this one is take incredible cosmic luck.
Yes.
Oh, he was a master of divination, if I'm not mistaken.
He did say he saw the future.
In dreams, he recognized us more so than the others.
I want to clarify. I might not have said this fully last session, but the specific words that he would have used when he said that was he had been seeing you in his dreams since he was a boy.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I remember that.
That detail helps, actually. Although it does bring in an element of fate that's kind of not fun, but okay.
Well,
Karma.
overlaps, like
Yep.
I don't know. Would that be
Is he a different
premonition?
Hodor?
Probably not, right? Like, would it be a premonition?
Oh, God.
Because, or is it that once the shift, like not the shift, but once the thing happened, his history had been written? That's also possible, I suppose.
the brigadier says, Amber Green, she says to you, Lodvain, please don't go down that hole. I have sent letters to your family.
My family?
Wait, what?
Yes, we send we send standard reports out once
What?
every 6
Wait.
months.
What?
Oh, you didn't
I
know?
have to
Wait,
imagine
I
that blows
haven't
their
seen my
mind.
family in 18 years and you're sending them reports?
Well, no, but like he specifically asked us not to. So
Right. Oh, and I never did. So, like, no. My family's fine. Like, I don't hate them. I didn't leave them with any animosity. Just
I'm just saying, no, you are very you are don't let these wizards get into your head. You're from this world. Do not fear.
Okay. It was Montlarin. He said the thing, and I'm sure he didn't mean to lead me down this path, but he said these things, and I thought, wait, I have no way to know that that's not the truth.
No, this princeling is from somewhere different entirely. He just stumbled over here, I suppose. But Lauren, you didn't have
What a story. What a story.
No, but that doesn't preclude our worlds just being very divergent, I suppose.
Dex says, yeah, yes,
Yeah.
it could very well be that you're from a place that diverged 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 years ago, and the continents and land masses might all be about the same, but the way the peoples have developed and nations and cultures would be completely different. I mean, the effect of singular choices by any individual could have far-reaching stretches effects into history. And I mean, just to think about what differences could occur in the different worlds. Well, this is the whole reason why it's so impossible to do what Holtzmann claims that he did.
Well,
I wonder if he didn't. I wonder if he didn't do what he thinks he did.
I'm guessing he has no idea what he actually did.
Box of his, the one that he used, that
It seems to focus, to power the device that they built. The
He
device
actually
is
named it while we
focuses-
talked to him, but I totally forgot what he said. now.
I remember what it is. It's in my notes.
Nice.
You guys are so much better players than me.
Asterisk locus.
No, if it makes you feel any better, Paul, my notes are a segment of my whiteboard to my right that say things
I
like.
have fucking no notes except the occasional scribble.
That's what I'm saying. They're scribbled with a prismere and have an
Sheet.
underline in red and say some other stuff, and that's from the other game. In this game,
Yeah.
they're down a little while later, and they're the similar sort of just like one name, a couple words, a line. I might not remember what the note was I took.
What's your latest name?
No, the latest thing that I was working on, the latest name I wrote down is the worker because we were talking about that shit.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Well, and it was Green Eye. I haven't written anything this particular this session because I haven't come up on anything that I was like, oh fuck, remember that.
It's the asterisk locus.
Dex was trying to reply to whoever said it was in the device, and he said, "So it's then it would be inside the tower still." Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Right.
I think it's what's causing that obvious illusion.
Or bending of space.
And reality and time. Yes, absolutely. That's I'm going to still call that an illusion.
Look how you think.
Well, we actually saw the tower as a normal tower before the illusion happened.
Now, obviously, I'm going
So
to
we got
tell
a
you-
glimpse of what might have been reality before things changed. What we don't know is which is real today.
I'm going to say right now that if you are ever able to get your hands on that cube, you need to not do anything with it until you can get it back to me and
I agree.
studied, or destroyed if such a thing is safe.
Right.
But
I'm going to agree with you.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not feeling like that thing is safe.
Oh, it's definitely not.
even that rival of Holtzmann's, what was his name? Marcus.
I don't remember the name of terrorists.
He at the point you told me that he used the box, those fractures in our world came into being here in this city, the ones that I had to close. Ones
Yes.
that,
Yep, I remember that.
I mean,
I threw a rocket.
if the Redshift had never happened, those pinpricks in space would have certainly become a major problem down the line anyway. Somebody, probably not me, would have had to find them and get them closed up before somebody got hurt. And somebody probably would have gotten hurt before anybody figured out they were there.
They were there for 1,000 years.
Exactly. It's I suspect they probably grew to their current day size over that time span. It would have been an error of an eon, but eventually the problem came to the fore. If that's what happened just by using that box once to summon ghasts, ghosts, he said he brought forth, then I can't imagine the kind of damage that using it for something bigger would cause.
More focused with a device. Yeah.
We're using it
absolutely.
many more times.
Right.
I mean, you said he was studying and using this thing for months.
He made it sound like he had visited quite a number of worlds, trying to find ones where Eliath was whole.
Yeah, he said that there was an entire process that she went through. It's not exactly a single operation deal, but during the final one, he knew what he was doing. Quote, quote. He even says that the other secretaries didn't witness him, but I'm not so certain. There is the possibility that he was duped by Aelita, but he says, and Arissa says, everybody else that we've talked to says that the secretary was good.
Yeah, fastidious and loyal.
Mm-hmm.
Says that's what Arissa says.
Which is why, I'm also willing to believe that it could be an accident. A waylay cascading event of the machine failing and limitless intelligence trying to fix it.
If
Yeah.
she's been the custodian of Vesoth for what was it, 7,000 years or so, I can't imagine that she'd be wanting this to happen to her kingdom.
It's all a matter of perspective, too, especially when it comes to the Redshift.
I couldn't believe it would be on purpose.
No.
At least not if.
No, but there is this sense of completely reasonable insistence upon maintenance
Yeah.
that is particularly appropriate to machine learning because it is ordered by rules. And once you set up rules, then the effort is to maintain the rules, period. There's no gray area. Everything is black and white. So if we have that kind of situation with the secretary, we are likely to find a completely reasonable intelligence that is focused on maintaining black and white.
Yeah.
And it will be quite difficult to convince it otherwise, if that's even at all possible, because a machine mind works in black and white. It doesn't allow for any gray area, whereas sentient consciousness allows for gray area, even though it doesn't prefer it.
Yeah, no, Montlarin, what you're saying right there is very close to what I would like to believe personally. But likewise, I don't want to go into speculation farther than what Naya has brought up here, because it brings me into the doing stuff section of the report. Our ideas, not yet with Holtzmann, but targeting the secretary. I believe that we should pay attention, or renewed attention, over to Gemery, so that we can at least face off the secretary when the time comes with knowledge of at least Redstone systems.
I do feel
whatever
like
that is.
Gemery is our next step, our next best step. But we need to have a really good plan in place, and we need to have all the backup support in place.
We can't lose this proxy. Absolutely.
We
Likewise,
absolutely cannot lose this proxy.
could perhaps send another expedition team to the potion factory to gather any materials left from that proxy encounter. That would be probably valuable.
I think that's a fine idea. I can definitely arrange somebody to do that and get it shipped over here in the next couple of weeks.
Because, Naya, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, go ahead.
No, because what Naya is saying is, if this is more like a machine, convincing it might also have to involve introducing components, other things, and perhaps Arissa, and maybe the mind at Gemery, plus whatever we can figure out, could be an addition enough, or key to renewing the secretary, or replacing, or whatever needs to be done in that case, destroying. That
We
be
would
a
need
shame.
to really, I mean, we are all humanoid. And so we have to kind of set aside our humanoidness because it involves emotion. And machines do not involve emotion. They involve what kind of looks like emotion, but it has to do more with sustaining black and white, maintaining the rules. So we need to make sure that whatever plans we come up with for Gemery are based on a black and white kind of rule set that does not diverge, because any kind of emotional logic will absolutely fail. That is based on what Holtzmann has said and this new information, that is my opinion.
Well, you told me that the proxy that you met at Gemery was quite cheery.
Yes.
Yes.
I think, yeah, there's something to be said with what Naya is saying here, but I think the proxy goes just a little beyond common machines. The proxy and the flower seed demonstrated conscious thought and behavior beyond black and white, at least in a sense of its own survival, when it maintained Arissa's soul within its systems.
Texas.
Even a
Yeah.
machine will have had programming for self-sustaining, and that will look very much like a sense of self and emotion, but it is not.
I'm saying it sacrificed itself. It did not have a sense of self. It chose to sacrifice itself for Arissa. Arissa is not the,
Right, the proxy did. Right.
The proxy did, yes. And I think we have to kind of assume that that is rare.
And
Well, it seems like what
brigadier
happened to
says-
Gemery might be similar, though.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
the brigadier says, and the potion refinery that Mortier's team found, they told me that the proxy there seemed confused, not dissimilar to what happened, what you saw at Gemery. When they tried to speak with her further, it eventually triggered some breakdown that led to the place's destruction.
This feeds into my opinion that perhaps this is all a tragic accident, and the Redshift is perhaps Aelita in a tragic form that even she didn't want to come to.
Legitimately, it's hard to discern malice from incompetence 1,000 years of, away from the event.
Absolutely. I would like to say that it was just incompetence. On the other subject about doing things, Decus, well, there's a problem when it comes to the worker here. Actually, a reason why it's in gentle repose. I'm sure the more magically inclined spiritual folk can explain exactly what's going on with what's the issue.
Yeah, what I'm looking at here is we've discussed the options. There are ways he can be revived. Since gentle repose was set in immediately, there's pretty much every option on the board. Other than that, if we can see, because he might not actually want resurrect, we might try use speak with dead to get his maybe
I
either get
feel
his
like
opinion
Red-
if he wants to come back to life, or also to potentially ask him other questions, that he can give us answers to.
Who are you discussing resing?
Holtzmann.
Holtzmann.
Oh, that's what I thought. No,
Yeah.
you
We
yeah,
we
I
can't
feel really bad
reincarnate
about
him.
that. No, like, how would you bring him back to? Is his mind in there? Is his mind in there? Like, no, only a little bit.
It was just at the last second, and then he had a heart attack and died. But it's like, which causes more suffering?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man.
Well, that's why I would want to
Ex-
ask him while he's
Oh,
dead first.
Hey, oh my God! Do you want us to resurrect you?
Dex says, that's a very difficult question. I can certainly see the value of the speaking spell. A little macabre, but desperate situations call for unusual measures, I'd say. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I ask for a full resurrection. I mean, it's a difficult thing to wonder about.
Indeed.
If there was more human left to, would have just seen about re. Unfortunately, that one doesn't seem like an option.
Well, yeah, we can't do that. He's not a humanoid.
There's
How
no
would
way
we
to
put him in
take
a
back.
new body. Also,
That's the other thing I was thinking. There's no way to take back the result, but I wonder what the children give him more of like a plant-like
and
body.
I'm super conflicted about putting a consciousness back into that shell.
No, that's not really acceptable unless he consents. Likewise, setting plants to eat his body is not a thing we can do without his consent.
Yeah, I feel like that's true too.
Yeah, we're not going to do anything without asking.
Dex says,
I mean, the guy, when you think about it, had to be exhausted 1,000 years living in
Right.
that body.
Right, not to like.
Oh man, if it was me, I'd be like, I'm out of here.
Not to wax modern, but bro's got PTSD, something fierce.
Maybe.
Right. Well, I mean, we could soothe it, but like again, you can't put
No,
something into that.
I say maybe because he lost himself for that 1,000 years.
Right. He wasn't home. He wasn't home at all.
He may not have any. Yeah, he may not have any of that experience.
or he's got all of it all at once.
Indeed.
Yeah, and that's where we
Absolutely.
run into the problem with sanity does not equate across all species. Because I don't know what species he was when he died,
He was a human.
Well,
No,
but
he's human.
in the last moment,
yeah,
he was
he's
Holtzmann.
yeah, exactly. He was just
That was the
Exotron, but I don't
consciousness,
think
but
that
that was
changes
not
your
the body.
species. I think it just changes your vessel to wax a little exoteric.
Mm-hmm.
Exoteric.
Exoteric. That works because
You're right.
Well, if you were Holtzmann, would you want to come back to life in that body?
No, that's what I said. I said
Right.
I'm super conflicted about bringing that thing back to life.
I thought we figured out what we were going to do.
We didn't do it to. Sorry, we didn't do to the other one.
We were
Yeah,
just going to actually get permission this time.
Right.
The Brigadier says, I feel like I should be slightly offended by some of this conversation.
Only by that last part.
We're delving into areas that are really difficult to talk about.
No,
We're talking about the other
was-
dead but shifted one.
Right. Not the live but shifted one.
It's not
I
her
said,
head.
blinking my eyes sarcastically.
It's not her.
Look at the
self.
token. Look at the token.
Oh, clearly, though, not a. I mean.
She says,
No, I know what's going on. Actually,
No,
I
shake my head.
have a theory.
she says, well, if you want my opinion, I wouldn't I wouldn't really. I mean, speaking as somebody who's speaking as one of the other people who survived this thing.
Yeah, please.
If my body turned out any worse than this, I don't think I'd be particularly happy to come back.
You're with us. That's the thing I was trying to come to. You're with us. That one was not. When we met that one, it wasn't with us anymore.
Oh, you're not getting us about the whole revival thing. We can't even do that until we, quote unquote, get permission to do the thing that I thought we were going to do, Mont. Like, I thought this was like we called this. We got to make the body humanoid first in order to even revive him.
Can't
We
even,
have to
we
do
gotta do that.
reincarnate.
Can't even consider if you're bringing it back into that form.
No, yes, of course, yes.
Right.
So why aren't we talking about the getting permission part that we were, talking about?
Obviously, are you saying those things out loud?
Yes, I'm looking over the Montlarn because I've been hearing this conversation go off, and I'm all like, yes. So we're going in circles about the thing that I thought we were agreeing to do.
Alvis.
Ron Tassel, it sounds to me like you're implying that you've had a discussion about trying to turn this body back into a human.
We were going
What are you talking about?
That was
We
a
were-
private discussion.
What?
Sorry.
I thought we were going to actually get permission this time because he was a valuable asset to the entire thing.
We are going to get
No,
permission.
no, that was the plan. That was the plan. I'm just
So-
Yes,
the thing-
I
the
appreciate
conversation-
you coming to ask for permission. Thank you.
Not permission from her.
Montlarn, you have the conch.
Well, I'd love to hear this plan, boys.
Montlarn, you have the conch.
Let me instead divert this conversation for a moment. We have plenty of time to consider what we can and can't do for Holtzmann if he actually wants to return. Instead, let me ask a question. Do we still have Niafa's body?
Oh shit. Oh shit. Shit. Oh,
She was buried in Arabelle's Grove after you delivered
Okay. I posit this theory based on this conversation and a few other things that I have seen. We buried a living fairy.
Grandmother
Oh.
told me that she couldn't.
Where's
she wasn't
Mazia?
able to? She's floating around somewhere,
But not here.
Not around again.
Okay.
The sense says after it happened, grandmother told me that she wasn't able to draw out the shifting from that pixie because it there was nothing left in there. Just
I remember.
stone.
But what I think is this. We know, as described by our esteemed genius friend Decus here,
Sure.
that what the proxies are essentially magical recreations of brains using this red crystal technology. Do you suppose that magic or senses that worked on the living would understand that thing as a living brain?
That is a good question, I suppose.
You function despite your red crystal replacement. So I'm not talking about how you suffer, of course. I'm merely saying that you continue to function.
Well, yes, but I wouldn't call it my brain. I mean, oh,
But the flesh at the interface hasn't rotted. No infection has occurred, no festering.
No, it's all crystal. It's all crystal.
They're not. My point is that they are not two separate things. Instead, the parts of you that were there are gone, but they've been replaced with an analog.
Yeah, with something equally functional, clearly.
Right.
Something, well, I wouldn't call it equally functional, no.
Differently
offense.
functional?
But yes, differently functional because it doesn't come from this reality.
No, it's another place's incursion.
Well, or it's a manipulation by the proxy, by the secretary, to attempt to restore things to the way that they're quote unquote supposed to be and failing.
Right, only with a flaw in the translation. Is that the right way to say it in this?
Perhaps
reality?
because it doesn't understand our flesh in the same way that our magic and senses don't understand its analog.
Yeah, exactly.
Dex is taking notes.
Okay, this
If
is
we-
interesting.
If
I
we
don't
had,
want to slip into table talk. So.
right, if we had Nyafa,
Well, but Naya is kind of going, okay, I'm following you, and oh shit, we have just gone down a rabbit hole that's really interesting. Because she hadn't considered it either.
so if we had Nyafa, there might be some way to gain an understanding of what that is, or potentially through what manipulations we've been able to pull off on our own, attempt to revert that condition, and in doing so, learn if we can apply that to the Redshift as a whole. I kinda
How much
look at
can
Deck
we
as, like,
accomplish?
am I talking madness here, or
No.
you know?
No, but
No,
how much can we accomplish of the first level, surface level of this interrogation, investigation by talking to the Brigadier? Because she'll speak our language.
It's as if the magic has a flaw in its hearing, and it listens to the world as it takes it in, but it doesn't hear it the same way. You know, this is all
Right, it doesn't reproduce it properly.
right. I'm trying to translate this into something that like my thoughts. You know, these are my thoughts, and I'm a musician, so I think of it this way. But what if
All
a
of
person
the
with a person with a flawed hearing, you know, heard my song and then tried to reproduce it? It would not include the tones that they could not hear, or it would include other sympathies, other sympathetic tones.
right, it might
Your
even
brain,
be discordant to us. Right.
Exactly. This is what I'm.
What if what's happened to the worker is the same thing, only it's attempting to gain this understanding, and in doing so, the nature of its changes is different? Maybe what happened to Neatha is an advancement of what has been happening to everybody else. Maybe it's getting quote unquote better in
Smarter
its eyes.
or better. Well, so to support what you're saying, remember that there were experiments we did with this where intentionality mattered. Where
Right.
when you put intentionality into the Redshift's magic, it tried to do what you wanted it to in a way anyway. Like
We've seen all sorts of things out here. But living bugs, living slime, iron beasts, paper beasts.
intentionality probably comes from use, and I mean, I want to say vibrations, but that's me. That's my musician soul. You know what I'm saying? But there should be maybe there's lots of ways to impart intention.
Are you telling me you think there's a singular goal at play?
I
The
do.
Redshift? Well, look, I'm kind of. I admit I've been hanging back while Montlarin and Nimbus have done the real heavy thinking with the the deep Redshift theory. But they've mentioned things that suggest to me that it has an intentionality of its own, or maybe an algorithmic. No, that's not the right word. Not algorithmic, but a systematic, right? A core system, or like music has the progression of fifths. It has an idea, it has a mode, it's trying to do a thing. That's what
Dex
they
says,
suggest.
based on everything we've seen so far, I think it near impossible to deny that there is an intent behind the Redshift. I don't know that we have enough information to decipher what that intention is, but and to answer your earlier question, Maltar, yes, it is very mad. But what else is new?
Well, it's also related
Fair
to the
enough.
magic. It's also related to was it Holtzmann that cast the spell with the cube?
No, the cube was a device that was in the museum. He didn't create it.
No, cast the spell, did the thing.
Oh well, he built the device with the secretary, and then they used it. Yeah.
That's the guy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to put my shattered fucking memories into space. Right? Remember, Evergreen drinks a lot. But yeah, like he did the thing with the cube to make it all go. I mean, what if there was a flaw in writing the music and now the player just plays the wrong song? Does that follow?
Well, you could also, as Montlarin just posted, equate it to the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Mm.
You know, you could see one small,
Did the little spell that didn't
insignificant
understand the-
error that results in
replicate
a
to a
flood
massive-
and a flood and a flood and a flood, and oh my God, I can't fix it.
That's what I'm saying, right? What if transcribing? What if somebody thought of a great song and in writing the song, transcribed it incorrectly in a bad way, and now everyone that plays that song plays it in a flawed way, and this machine, this magic, just plays the song and it plays it wrong.
Over and over and over.
Correct.
Well, it just keeps scrabbling
Well,
and
it
trying,
says-
right? Because
it says
nobody's going to
refrain.
come in and
It
fix it.
says refrain.
Well, that's
and
its job, is to keep playing it.
at the end,
forever.
the two lines with the two dots at the end of the bar.
That's the
Play
job.
it again. Bounce it again. Play it again.
And if it's got an error, then play it until somebody fixes it.
If the error was in transcription,
That's the
then
job.
it's not even recognizable as an error. It's just there.
We've got to lift the needle. I'll talk to Arabelle again about your theory, but don't swagger back to town thinking that you're going to play experiment or whatever else broken, twisted thing you find just to find out if you're right, Lauren.
I'm not sure it's about being right.
No, it's about doing right.
And if that's what we have to do right, then we'll do it. But till we find out what needs to be done, I'm very lucky. Several times. I was hardly even fully on board with testing out that unicorn horn. That caused plenty of mess all by itself.
That is one of those examples where intentionality totally mattered.
The wall, Eska, and the little thing you did with Mazia. I mean, you're maybe a little too stupid to realize how lucky you've been all three of those times, and want to do it again?
I want to fix this.
I know, no, I know that. I get it. I understand. It's please don't get me wrong. It's noble. You've done a lot of very good things. But if you fuck up, none of us can fix you. Everything you've. I've read and reread your reports a dozen times each. Lauren, if the Redshift has intent, it knows who you are. It's looking at you. You can't think you're going to keep getting away with what you're doing to it. Do you?
No. But I also don't see how there's any other choice. Nothing normal is going to fix this problem.
And if it is an entity, then diplomacy is an option.
Right. It doesn't have to be violent.
I didn't say that it should be. Make it pretty difficult to be pissed at you.
My parents say the same thing.
I see. I just think perhaps you need to consider the idea that you might be rushing ahead with not enough information. Maybe before you try meddling with shifting, maybe we need to get to the tower and see what's inside. Maybe, perhaps you're right. Perhaps you will need to talk to the Redshift, whatever the secretary, whatever's in there.
Yeah, we won't know until we get there. That said, and I'll look down at Alvis. I think his point about Gemery is right. I don't know that we'll know how to deal with the secretary if we don't understand the power that it wields.
We're in full agreement there.
Redshift.
I think going to Gemery and figuring out what has gone on with that proxy and maybe how to fix it is probably our best next step. How close to the tower did you say you got? How far are we?
How big is a hex?
15, 20 miles.
Yeah,
about a
20
day,
miles at
maybe.
the most.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very close.
And you found a fort. Were there any other suitable locations? I assume you found it.
No.
The
Two
village
over
to the
the-
south was already burning down while we got there.
Yeah.
The entire area east of the desert here in our time seems to be protected by magical constructs.
Oh, that's a
Who
good thing
didn't
to know.
Well,
attack
not
us if
really.
we carried the sign of Ves, but otherwise were basically inconquerable creatures. So I think as long as we take precautions that we know
She
are
points at
effective
that sign
there,
on your helmet.
right? I
We're
think
gonna
it'll
need
be
Pontus to make-
safe for us, and I think that's why we made the progress we did.
We're going to need Pontus to make us some sigils.
And banners.
I think we probably want to,
And
restore.
horns, maybe.
Well, I'm like, maybe outfits. just wear the guard outfit.
Yeah,
Right? Oh,
just
of course. Look.
Yeah. Tabards, yeah, but no, I
Yeah.
mean, I also think that we probably want to restore that fortress, at least from a distance appearance, with the proper banners and the like, so that we don't ever have to worry about that.
Shit. I wonder how high level that spell actually is. I have Dispel Magic. If I could find the core or the basis or wherever that.
It's
I
probably
think
in the
that's
tower.
redshifting.
In the tower, you're saying?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's redshifting because if I remember correctly, Holtzmann likewise said that kind of defense system didn't exist.
He did.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. Well, but it clearly does. So, like, if I could find whatever it is that's doing that, and I don't even know what to do
It's
to find that out.
another thing that makes me believe that the secretary is involved with this, is because
Yeah.
whom else would set up
Yeah, would
a
spin that up.
defense system that is like, oh, you're Veshin? All right.
Yeah, well, I feel like maybe I could find a way to dispel that because I do have dispel magic. You know, I mean, as soon as I take a long rest,
Don't
assume
dispel
that we're
the secretary.
Well, no, not the secretary, but perhaps the
The
whatever it
secretary
is that
the
makes
source of
the
it.
whatever it is that makes the thing there. You know, maybe it's
I think it's the secretary, boss.
well, okay.
said,
Well, maybe she's gonna get dispelled.
All right. Well, I'll.
No,
do we
put
get
out
long rest?
No.
after the
No?
long rest you do.
Okay.
I'll put out a missive to the commission to let everybody know about that. It's a little bit like grave robbing to go wearing the emblem, but I guess that's nothing new considering where we're standing.
Yep.
I play a snippet of the song.
Yeah, Brigadier, about that. Maybe it's presumptuous. Let me rephrase that. I'm sure it's presumptuous, but the presumption I am assuming is that the Empire will take control of the territory of us if we resolve the Redshift.
Oh, good question. That's about time we need to think about that. Yeah.
I've already
Truthfully,
talked to
I
Lucent about this.
don't fully know what the exact plans are. I think that's a pretty safe bet.
It just struck me that if the Empire were going to take this territory, they'd probably call it something like I don't know, the province of Ves, maybe. In which case, if we adopt this symbol as the symbol of the new province, we're not robbing graves. We're proudly displaying our allegiance to the Empire, right?
I've been selling out propaganda for years now. Like, you know, y'all get a lot of help and stuff. Like, just open the doors. I'm sure people would want to come out.
Well, yeah, I've-
those bads of yours have already attracted a couple of customers. Back.
Boy.
But,
See, if we do this right, we'll make this a place where everyone can be happy again. That's all I really want.
More manpower too.
well, perhaps you should let Eska or Arisa know about wearing their sigil. Maybe.
Yeah, we'd have to ask them like what the traditional colors are for the livery. All
That's a good idea.
For sure.
what was the motto?
Yeah. What's the etiquette?
Things might help us after all. And I'll be sure to tell Pontus all the details. I'm sure I could get him to whip up a few banners for us.
Fantastic.
Flags, tabards, and all the livery that we need. We've gone so long without any kind of flags around here. I'd almost forgotten that we are missing them.
We've never really had the luxury of that kind of concern.
Bigger things
I
to
would
worry about.
love to display my heraldry.
Maybe that's the
I'm
reason
sure
nobody's
if one of
wanted to
the
visit
saints
us.
ever bothered to stop by here, they'd be quite miffed. But don't tell them I said that. Don't
Could
tell
you-
them I said that I don't care.
Could you get one of the saints here?
I doubt their handlers would be willing to let them step foot in the Redshift zone.
It'd be the point
Perhaps
of
something
having them
safer.
here anyway. I don't want to
I don't
escort
know.
people.
I draw some attention and new investments.
Yes. That's what's up.
After
just
the fact,
understand that-
sure.
Yeah, I just
I'm
understand
sure.
that large projects require that kind of thing in big governments.
Mhm.
I'm sure plenty of them will be
We
happy to
have
clamor for the fertile lands, or will provide them. That is something to think about a little while down the line.
already called dibs.
Well, a little while down the line is probably sooner than we think. Because the political ramifications will be relevant very soon.
Fortunately for me, I am not a politician.
Not
I
yet.
think any of us are, but we need to think about it because that could get in the way.
On that front, don't worry. I've kept them out of our hair this long. I can do it a little bit longer. We have our funding. We have a Dragon's Hoard that paying taxes on shortly enough.
What?
We have a,
Well, the kobolds
yeah,
have a dragon sword that they'll be paying taxes.
We'll maybe be able to arrange some kind of sovereign thing with them.
This is not even minted treasure.
The Front Castle, it's similar to how your company does. There's a sort of finder's tax for the Saint Empress or Emperor.
Ah,
You slay a dragon. All of that money did originally belong to the Empire at one point.
not this
But
one.
I guess in this case it's a bit different. But the laws don't care so much about that distinction.
Interesting. It might be an issue, but I don't think I've ever had to deal with taxes like that. I mean, the guild always had dealt with my wealth and heavy wealth that I had generated. Maybe they dealt with my taxes.
You were definitely getting taxed.
They were getting taxed. I don't think I've been taxed.
They were also getting taxed, but you were definitely getting taxed.
I don't know if I paid taxes once to the Empire.
I suppose somebody will have to teach you how to balance a budget, won't they?
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be your assistant, that would be great.
I thought you were going to run your own museum.
That's also going to happen. But I can delegate that to my agents.
Oh, I see.
I'm going to open an agency.
Are you going to treat your agents better than your agency treats you?
My agency uplifted me out of abject poverty.
Right, but who put you? We've had this conversation before, Alice.
I wasn't put into the poverty by them. I was put into the poverty by my parents.
And who put them there?
Their actions and deeds.
Uh-huh.
I actually
So they willingly entered the mines?
I couldn't tell you. Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
I believe you. I'm sure they wouldn't want you to know.
Who?
Yeah,
My
that's
parents
fair.
or
Your agency.
Vim and the guild?
Exactly.
I mean, I would definitely like to uplift more people from abject poverty. So yes, I think I would treat them a little bit better. But
That's good.
I don't know if I've had a bad example. There's definitely been a conflicting example. Don't get me wrong. In the past 5 years, I've learned a thing or two from all of y'all. I understand some shit's been up. That's why I think I'm definitely ready to be talking to Vim and maybe making an umbrella so that he can, watch over a little bit on the new agency, go through guild processes, right? He'll get a little bit of kickback for a time being, but then in another maybe 5 or maybe a little bit longer, depending on how slow it is, years, then my agency will gain full independence of the guild status, and then
I should send Van to that club's headquarters.
What?
That's a fantastic idea.
It is.
I'll talk about it with him later.
Lucette? But I'm going to be working for you while all this happens as well, so
No,
that
I
you can
mean,
enjoy your retirement.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Don't worry a thing about it. I'm just wondering, thinking out loud.
They do some good work.
Be not afraid.
I mean,
Nice.
I want
Fan
to.
says as he comes through the door.
Look, all the eyes. I mean, that tracks.
Right.
I mean, you'd be surprised about a lot of the charities that they've paid into.
Oh,
What
I
was the
see.
charities?
I mean, there was this one time where I had to stand as a bouncer for this art sort of charity where things sort of like the stuff that I've collected here were sold at auction, and a percentage of the proceeds were going to go to orphanages all around the empire.
Sure, they were.
Well, no, absolutely, because actually, I got to meet some of the orphans who were directly funded by these proceeds like a month or two later, and they came in expectantly to be agents, and I believe that they went and underwent similar training to mine, except minus the Mayans, so even probably better than me.
Right.
Also, I think they installed a well or two, so they can place their name next to it or something like that. That's what Vim always said. He was actually pretty upset about the well thing. Apparently, he believes that he deserves one or two, which is a weird way to think about like deserving a thing. Shouldn't you plant wells to establish prosperity? Then again, most of these wells are like fountains, let's say. I mean, you could drink from them.
Uh, not to stampede over your nostalgia.
I was describing. He asked, what kind of charity work the guild has done, and orphanages, wells,
Uh,
undisclosed mines that obviously donate lots of taxes to the empire.
we should probably take care of this Holtzmann body before any of the children or any of us want.
Yeah, that was why we brought it here. We need a safe place for it to rest.
Well, as long as you're not going to try to do anything stupid in the middle of the night, feel free to use your magics and whatnot to keep it safe and secure in here. I think that'll be fine.
All right.
Excellent.
Just, don't do anything stupid.
Nothing stupid, always calculated,
Consider the
especially by
source
me.
here.
I will do my best.
Dex says, I can take care of this, but before I do, you said you wanted to perhaps perform a small necromancy. Do you want to do that immediately?
No, I need to study that one out of the big book.
I see.
So it won't be immediate. It'll be after I've kind of taken a few more spells out of that nice long soothing and be ready to do. So probably closer to when we're ready to set out next.
I'll in that case, I'll take care of old Holtzmann here, and get him safely put away for now.
It'll be good for another few days. Gentle repose, if not to your
Good. Yes, that'll keep him just fine. Sneeze.
Giant sneeze.
It didn't happen. Yeah, so let's see. All those things Mont said that you need to do are good ideas.
Likewise, we need to get we need to send scouts out to the potion factory in order to gather proxy bits and pieces and red crystal.
Right. The Brigadier will definitely arrange that to happen for you.
What are we going to do? What do you mean, like during our downtime? Now that we've done all of our discussing?
Yeah, I guess you've got. Let me tell you exactly how many days you've got, because that's important for the wizard. From today, you've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days until the redshift clears.
Oh,
We
that's
only
more than
have,
enough.
7 days for gentle repose?
Yeah, but that can simply be recast as a ritual, so it's not really too big of a deal.
Yeah, and again, Decus has it. Anybody who's what is it? It's a level 2 spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have general repose
Yeah.
too.
So literally any level 3 spellcaster of the type that can cast it, write them up a scroll and be like, here. Every 10 days you come in here, you go to this weird looking thing, you pop the coin back on the eye, you do the thing, and then, wrap it back up. Like if nobody else is around, I
birthday,
can do that.
Naya, by the way.
Hey, happy
what?
birthday.
Hey.
What part of the year is it? Yeah.
It's this redshift will clear up on the 20th of Lugas. So yeah, it's gonna be Naya's birthday halfway through the redshift this time.
Okay.
You're 27, right?
It's a little early, because normally historically it's been September.
Yeah. That's correct.
Yeah, we don't run in linear time, right?
I mean you do run in linear time.
Right,
Oh,
but
do you
it's
mean
every.
we don't run
Yeah, it's not 1-to-1 to Earth. That's what I mean.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't track.
No, we're still we started that way, but we're now almost a full 2 years behind real time. It's been 5.5 years of play in real life, but it's been 3.5 years.
Yeah. Alvis Taver
adventuring.
caught up.
So she's
with my
27
age.
now?
27 is the number I have down. Yeah.
Okay, she'll have to update her thing.
Is it your birthday?
It's Naya's birthday.
Happy birthday, Naya.
Thank you.
You have to do some druidic shit.
I'll play you happy birthday on my
You have to
flute.
do some like druidic shit. Some ritual or something.
No, not particularly, but
Naya, this is the song we play
It
in
does
my
remember.
family when it's someone's birthday. And then,
It does remind her. that it's been quite a long time since she saw her family, and her biological clock is also running.
You're going to lay an egg soon.
I'm not quite sure how Dragonborn do that, but
Yeah.
She needs a good friend for that.
yeah,
Right, yeah, absolutely.
friends with benefits, yeah.
Very close friend who is also Dragonborn.
Yeah, I think so. But she doesn't know any other Dragonborn except that one guy, Gold Dragonborn. Yeah, long time ago.
Right.
No, there was Kuromisawa, but then there was that other one at Orvis.
I
It was
remember,
a long
yeah.
time ago.
I saw that one guy, but I mean, he wasn't really my type.
No, it wasn't her type.
There are several Dragonborn amongst the commission.
Yeah, but she doesn't know any of them, and they don't really talk, and she doesn't have a connection with them at all.
Naya's a little demi,
And she's really super naive and inexperienced, and she doesn't know how to flirt. She doesn't know any of that stuff.
And Kuro is like 20 years older than you and married to a sword anyway.
And so, it's something like, when I go home, then my family will find me a suitable spouse. And she doesn't really understand that programming is alive in her. She just trusts that it works. So this is where there's potential conflict between the programming that is so subconscious or even unconscious that she doesn't even know it, and then when the reality check comes, because she'll go home eventually if she survives this shit, and then family will do what it does, and if that means finding her a spouse, it will. And then what if she doesn't like it? And none of that has occurred to her.
Right. Okay.
There's just this expectation.
I don't know how your people do
out
that.
Of naivete.
That's not.
That
man.
It'll all happen. And
but if that's how your people work, then it will, right?
Amber Green's a dwarf, so he's like, "Nah, dude, what are you worried about? You got like 300 years to."
No. I mean, she lives as long as a human.
Follow your heart.
No, she lives as long as a human, so she's only got.
But also, my family doesn't do that like arranged marriage shit. We're village life. Shepherds.
Right, and all she knows.
There are other villages. You go to other villages. You don't. Come on, no one really settles down with someone from their own village. Like that's where you sow your oats, but that's not where you stick. It's always more healthy to go get a mate from another.
Well,
village,
and it expands the gene pool. She spent 5 years with the dwarves. So she knows how they roll, but they're not dragonborn.
Well, and my kind of dwarf isn't an underground, like in the mines dwarf. Like, no, we're
most dwarves aren't in the mines. Most dwarves are, in fact, farmers, as it happens.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, shepherds.
Just like most other people everywhere.
That's what we do. That's where I learned to play my.
Right, and she doesn't know that because the only dwarves she knows are from Ilramral. So.
They're still mostly farmers there.
Right, but the ones she knows were in the mines.
There are mines over there, yeah.
That's where she was sent. So that's, I mean, she's naive in that sense of not knowing. You don't know what you don't know.
For sure.
And you don't even know what to extrapolate on.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
so she's smart, but she doesn't know what to extrapolate on. So she's really naive, dumb in that sense.
For
because
sure.
Because she's really ignorant. She's just plain old ignorant.
Even of your own people, like you. I mean, I'm sure you.
That's all she knows.
And stuff,
That's
right?
all she fucking knows is the ones that were way up north. Sir, what's the name of that area? You told me, but I forgot. The North something.
Because like
it's way the hell up there.
Would always think of you just as a companion, and he would never have thought to be like, I'm gonna learn the sexual ways of my friend Naya, the Dragonborn, because we're just kind of, we don't really.
We gotta do what we gotta do, and what we gotta do is the priority here, not
So I hadn't, I had never thought about it, but now you're saying these things, and it's just like,
I mean, she just doesn't do it on Twitch, but if you guys want to like do that in your own time, then feel free.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have to click through.
That's funny.
I think she probably has had Okay, so she's never had any kind of awakening like that. It's all business. Everything is business. She's segmented her world since she was 15 years old, or just about, and she left home. She's really like stupid naive about the fact that she was a freaking teenager acting out a freak out when she even left home. If she thought about it like truly, if she thought about it today, she might look back on that and go, oh my God, I could have just told my parents and we would have gotten over it. And here I've been gone all these years. I've been gone for 12 years now. And I mean, I didn't even know until just an hour ago that the Brigadier was even sending information home.
That,
it's like, Well, now that I think about it, I'm kind of glad that they know I'm alive.
She said
But
she
that's
wasn't
also-
sending anything to your family.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that. But, you know, there's a certain element of that that is kind of like heartbreaking.
Yeah, I was gonna say shit. Just
She's
mine.
got some shit to process. And on top of all of that, there is the whole biological clock ticking. I don't know when Dragonborn can have babies, but
Right,
I'm
that's how
guessing
this
it's
started.
something like human because her lifespan is up to 80, like a
About the
human.
same, yeah.
So I'm going to guess that, you know, it's coming up like she needs to find a mate. She needs to have children if she's going to have them.
Human Dragonborn and Tabaxi are like the main three that are like all the same, basically, in terms
Okay.
of general biology.
Okay.
lifespan.
Well, that makes,
Tabaxi
I mean,
is
I kind of
cathode, right?
figured it was similar to that
What
anyway.
was that?
I said tabaxi or cathode, right?
Yeah, so the main differences between the three is that Dragonborn lay eggs and Tabaxi have.
Oh, is that how it works? Dragonborn lay eggs? Do they lay eggs first, or is that after some kind of a meetup?
Only fertilized eggs.
Okay.
Okay, so you can't
Yeah.
get
She
like
can't have
really
kids.
Yeah, you
fat
can't do
and
that.
really like you
She
know.
cannot
even go
have
there.
children without a
I
mate.
hate the idea. I'm hating.
No, I was not
I'm
thinking
hating the
that.
idea
No,
that
I
I'm
was thinking that if you had a really healthy environment, you got a lot of good feed, that your body might still like do the establishment of eggs like a chicken.
You
but they're
only
not
think that because
fertilized.
we kept chickens, and this
No,
is why I
you're-
hate this idea.
No, it sounds like
you're
Dragonborn
thinking-
need a
that's
fertilized egg to actually produce an egg.
That's how Albus. That's how goblins work, which is why Jabberlax always drinks a special spiced tea to keep the metabolism. The human.
That's awesome. I didn't
Wait,
know today.
what?
I learned.
Wait, what?
Goblins who don't wish to transform into bugbears often take a particular drug to prevent it from happening.
Oh, they'll turn into bugbears?
Yeah, dude, that's old school lore.
Oh, that's interesting. No,
So,
I was thinking
Hobgob,
chickens.
Bugbear.
I was literally thinking chickens, though. No,
Yeah.
but I was nice and
Yeah,
healthy.
I know. And the reason you think chickens is because you and I kept chickens, and like this is also why I was like, oh no, do you work like a chicken? Oh no, I don't want to.
No, they don't.
I don't want to think it.
None of the sapient species work like chickens.
Yeah, no producing
good.
of fertilized eggs.
Humans have babies. Dragonborn have eggs, and Tabaxi have babies, but they always have twins.
And gnomes
Oh,
are
cool.
magical creations.
So
Yeah.
there's no way that Naya
They-
can have a baby
We're free
without
love,
Without having a
just pop out of the
partner.
hole in the ground.
that fertilizes an egg.
kind of.
And she doesn't
No, well-
know hardly anything about that process. She has
Yeah.
no fucking idea.
Oh my
Naya-
god, Dragon Ball
Naya,
sex.
you could have a gnomish baby. You just don't have to have sex with the gnome.
No,
It's a little different.
no. Oh,
I mean, some of that because Naya is naive. I mean, that name now really suits her. Is that she doesn't. I mean, anything but what she's been programmed with is kind of anathema to her. She's never been in love. She's never even flirted. She doesn't know anything about that.
nine.
Never
AF.
ever. She's completely naive and innocent in this sense of she has no fucking clue whatsoever.
If she's never even had any kind of urges, then she's just ace, and that's cool too.
Well, she's been very focused on what we're doing.
I find it hard to believe that she survived 3.5 years in the commission without learning a single dirty joke.
Law.
Well, she might have heard one, but she probably half
Oh,
didn't
God, now
understand it.
What's a Dragonborn
Like she
joke?
probably didn't even get it.
They can't possibly be that different from regular ones.
Except,
I know. I just can't pull it
like
off right
she
off the
probably
top of
didn't
my
even
lip,
understand.
like, my tongue.
I mean, I remember the first couple of jokes I ever heard that it was
Excellent.
years
Something about that probably
before I
does.
understood. Oh, that's what that meant. I mean,
I know. No, you're not
me
wrong.
personally. So
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. That's what I was saying. Maybe the punchline of one is excellent, but I can't think of the joke. I can't.
right. I mean, She just is fucking clueless, and she has nobody to actually take her under her wing and explain shit to her. Because even if she gets it from grandmother, it's going to be different. Because she
You
ain't a
talk to
dragonborn.
Karamazawa. He might know a little thing or two.
But not enough to be
Like, you don't have to be like
Like,
mates
super-
with them, just
No,
like
but-
enough to.
Well, and also the other thing that's like
she would have to get way over the hump of embarrassment and shame
Right.
and all
He might
that
have a
shit.
daughter.
no, the other like pit here is that some beautiful dragonborn could wander into camp that actually does spur these feelings or whatever, and then you're just like, all right,
Well,
what's up?
at that
And
point, she becomes fucking useless.
Right,
exactly, and reacts to this, right? And that's a whole story by itself, right?
Right. I mean, but that's kind of, I mean, in her expectation, that's for when we're done. She either dies or we succeed. And it's all very kind of black and white to her that way. There's no gray area. And it's not possible really for her to go home without being a hero.
Also, like
She's got to be she's got to be a hero. She has to be not exactly lauded as a hero, but she needs to be a hero or heroic, and she needs to be able to have confirmation of that independently. So like the Brigadier or somebody would have to say, oh yeah, Naya, yeah, she's a hero.
Oh, dude.
And then
Naya's a hero.
she's fucked up. I mean, she was 15 years old, and her entire education process about being a noble dragonborn stopped. Everything else is what she's learned since then. But really, her dragonborn adolescence died. I mean, it stopped right on the spot. And so she's stunted, and she doesn't have any way to fix that. She doesn't even know she needs fixing. That is her, what do you call it in here? Her flaw. It's one of her main character flaws is her legit ignorance. She loves you guys. You are her family, and she would give her life for you. But she can kind of feel this biological clock thing, and so her mind goes toward when we're done, when we're finished, and this assumes that we survive, It assumes that we survive in some kind of okay physical shape. And this is when she'll go home, because she'll go home a hero. And then she can finally be with her ancestors in the Hall of Heroes, in the gallery. And they'll make a statue for her. And she won't have to apologize and feel shame. And her dragon scales never tarnished. And this is who she is. But it's also really, really ignorant in its heroism. It's super ignorant. And none of you can fix it as much as you wish to, which she loves about you.
Oh, you made a whole song and everything, Evergreen.
Dude, did I not? I am a bard after all.
These fools are whispering away in the chat over here.
Okay, so Smitty is here with our stuff, right?
He is, absolutely. He and Pontus have been working on that dragon.
So Mont and I, you're absolutely fine, Maya. It's good roleplay. Mont and I have some questions for Smitty as to some projects, and likewise Pontus for the creation of some livery, some heraldry. Likewise, Montlarin wants to make some moves about the establishment of this territory here, which would prompt Albus to want to make some moves. Likewise, in the establishment of an umbrella corp or umbrella agency for Vim and Vigor, asking permission and stuff, sending out the necessary paperwork to the guild for that stuff. Sort of helping Montlarin, because if that gets propped up here, then guild connections can prop up his claim and so on and so forth.
Got it.
You
Yeah.
get this
so,
whole area, established.
I well understand what Albus Taver's plan is there. Mont, you were saying that you were asking for you to have governorship of All Saints?
Yep.
Okay.
Specifically undertaking an oath to restore All Saints and the surrounding territory to their past glory for the benefit of the Empire.
Very cool.
Okay.
I support that absolutely.
All right, you write your letter. I'm not gonna. You don't need to do any checks or anything for that. That's you can make these requests.
Likewise, I wanted to try to pull strings, try to help him with that. If I could get him a rich patron or somebody. At first somebody might look at it, but then somebody might be all like, "Oh yes, Montlarin," and that's how courts work. Sorry,
you guys are the rich patrons now. By the way,
Right. I was going to say with the dragon board.
Yes, no, I absolutely mean that, but I mean other, established traders of goods and things like that. It takes more than just one rich patron. You have a coalition of people who back
We want to
up.
help demonstrate that it's possible to restore the territory with our special skills and connections.
Yes, thank you. And likewise, I have established enough wealth here that I could donate enough to the guild to help pay any sultry fee to establish an umbrella corporation for Vim and Vigor, which would help me establish my agency, which helps cement your, usefulness.
Just make sure that they don't have some fine print about taking a cut.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Because it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Right. So the reason I was actually writing for a governorship rather than saying, "Hey, please give me land out here," is because I'm hoping that my status as a visiting noble from an entirely different kingdom far, far away, offering to bend the knee to the emperor or empress, is a is a sign of how committed I am to the thing I'm swearing to do. Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If Dex hears about it, he'll be pretty surprised because his plan.
This is what?
He'll be pretty surprised because he says I've been running under the assumption that once we're all done here, we were going to send you home.
Oh, don't worry, Decus. That work still needs to get done. It's just not me that we'll be sending home.
Well, sure. I mean, in all honesty, it's not that difficult of a task. It just takes a lot of we'll have to run some tests and sit you in a chair back at the academy and bombard you with some music discordance for 8 to 12 hours until we find the right frequency. And
that's lovely.
Once we do that, it's a simple matter to forge the tuning forks that we need. And as long as we have people like myself who are well studied arcanists, we may be able to arrange the sort of commerce back and forth between worlds if that's something that we're ever interested in doing.
Okay.
That's a great idea, Decus. I will work that into the letter I'm going to send.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not do that. I'm just nodding, right? Just whispering this.
My brother, in whatever form that he takes, will probably act as the intermediary for us.
Yeah,
I
that's
imagine
good. I'll establish that.
I'd enjoy that plan.
Hope so.
Okay, well, I'll I'll keep that in mind. We'll assuming all things go well and everything, we'll make sure we save that seat for you in the acoustic chair.
Actually, my hope is that perhaps Alsanes can host such an elaborate university.
That I don't see why not. It would probably take
With you as
beyond
headmaster.
my lifetime to see it to its fullest. But
With you as its headmaster.
Help us understand.
Its first headmaster.
well, we might be able to.
Decus the builder. Decus the architect. Decus the magnificent.
Brown noser.
No, I'm just suggesting future titles.
Uh-huh.
How they will remember him as the builder of the great university that Montlarin patronized.
I was hoping to retire to a halfling village and write my books on the Redshift, but
Percent also feels like that they might actually be able to retire, but do you really think that you're going to be able to, retire?
Well, the offer is definitely open. I think that whatever happens to All Saints in its restoration, having someone of your caliber here would make all the difference.
I am an old man after all. I mean,
We could establish a halfling village here just for you. We'll call it Decusville.
well, tell you what, if we solve this Redshift next week, then I'll take you up on that offer. Otherwise, we'll have to see.
Halflings and gnomes
Sounds
frequent similar places.
Sure.
Gnomish village, you might not even notice the difference. Maybe 1 or 2 less feet.
I think. I mean, you're about the same height, but you look pretty different.
Albus is very short too, even for a gnome.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the So, any plan of action during this downtime?
Yeah, Smitty. Smitty's next, right?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So, what did you want to besides the banners and whatnot? Did you have anything specific?
Yeah, we wanted to armor Keen with the mithril.
Yeah, you have functional requests, so please continue. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize you were supposed to. I thought yours was functional when I read it.
Oh, well, I mean, there are things I want to do, but they're not going to make us more effective in combat.
There was the adamantine tridents that we were gonna modify into our bolt weapon.
Yep.
That is correct.
There were those as well. Then the mithril armor, which I already just said. What was the other thing that I thought we should ask Smitty to do? Coin dice. Yes, there's that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I have these coin dies that I recovered from the treasure hoard. I had an idea. I have 2 sets here, and so I thought that we could use this gold that I also recovered and mint a set of Vess accurate gold coins, and then perhaps we could modify the second set in some way to indicate that they are commemorative, and use the remaining gold to mint a set of commemorative Vess coins.
Those modifications, of course, I would know.
I would like to do all the labor with Albus's help. I just need your guidance.
Yeah, they would not count as forgery because we marked them as such.
Sure. Sounds like a little afternoon project. Yeah, I'll show you how to handle the gold in the forge, and then you you get to carving the dies, right? If that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
I don't really give a damn what you do with those coins, but that's something you want to do. I don't mind helping.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, I don't really intend to use them as coins. The commemorative coins are for folks who might want to invest in the expedition. I was thinking we could potentially sell them for revenue, but
Right.
these originals, these are what in my world we would call campaign tokens. My intention is to give one to each of us that survived the fight here, as a commemorative moment, a way to remember the moment.
Not too bad of an idea. Sure, plenty of people will like those. All right then, and I'm sure you're not here for just that. You're here to talk about your pet too. I bet.
Absolutely. You must have received this full, beautiful set of Veshan armor that would go wonderfully paired next to another elf, but that I want you to destroy and to make something more beautiful with.
Now, after all that hard work I put into that girl's carapace, you want me to take it back apart and replace it with this?
But I mean, it's mithril.
Hmm.
Unless you think you could use the mithril to make it reinforced.
Absolutely.
Perhaps some of the internal parts.
Here's what we could do. This is a little bit easier than replacing the whole body. You don't want to do that. I can make her new legs. Now, those will come off a little bit easier. Get new ones on there. Melt down the old ones for new weapons and whatnot. Replace the legs. If they're all mithril, she'll be able to move a little bit faster. Or I could probably reinforce her a little bit, get some extra plating around the neck and the joints and everything. Mithril won't add any significant weight at that point, but she might be able to take a couple more hits. Looks like you sent her into a lot of trouble out there this week, didn't you?
I did.
The past hit us real hard. Yeah. We saw what it looked like when people got to see the Redshift for the first time. It was terrible.
He pats her on the head and he says, "But you survived just fine. Just a couple of dings here and there. That's what I'm talking about. You're not going to get broken so easy."
Absolutely not, especially with such a great doctor.
Oh, you don't need to fire me up. That doesn't work.
No, I know it doesn't. I genuinely mean it though too. No, I think Keen honestly feels speed over the protection as much as I feel like being a very overprotective. You called it a pet, but it's a little closer than that, I think. But
I get you.
never mind.
So a fresh set of legs it is then.
Likewise, Keen wants to help out other members of the party, and I came across this nifty little light stick. I don't really need such a thing. I mean, I've never been tasked to recount color in the dark, so perhaps one day, I might regret the idea, but. I think maybe installing this in the mouth of Keen so that it wouldn't inflict too much of a pain to my dark, sensitive eyes, but also as a directive sort of lamp.
I think I could do that. I was thinking about getting a jaw hinge in there at some point too. So we could 2-for-1 that.
Absolutely. I know something. I always thought it would be hard, and I've been trying to teach her more digging now that might be possible with
Yeah, we got
the
the claws almost ready
adamantine
to go.
claws. Yeah, but Keen misses chewing on things. I know that's more of an aesthetic challenge, but was a rat.
Yeah, of course she was. Well, okay. Then teeth first, then the legs. Then we'll make sure I can modify the throat, and let's see. The stick is probably. I think I could fit it in there. I might have to bulk up the neck a little bit, but it shouldn't cause too much trouble. Well,
Fantastic.
she's gonna have to go under for a bit, but I think I can do what you want here. You okay if I take her off your hands for a week or two?
All good. I trust you.
All right then. Um. Uh. Oh.
Polish her up a
and
bit.
I should let you know that we took care of that fat bastard king for you.
Wonderful.
Pontus figured out most of it was good. We couldn't salvage any of the organs out from the tree.
Since took over its life function, that would I could see that happen.
But there's a bunch of stuff that you could get out of that. A couple of mantles out of the wings, armor or shields from the scales, bone weapons if you want them. Otherwise, we'll probably use the bones and materials around town here. The fangs and claws are good for arrowheads and that sort of thing too. And Soriana came and collected as much of the blood as she could get out of it. She says it's good for certain kind of potion making. And supposedly the eyes are good for wizard stuff too. I'm not sure of the details on that, but Van came along and petrified them rock solid. So they're I think Soriana took those too.
Okay, sounds good. So with the bone stuff, would the weapons made out of them be any effective, resilient?
So red dragonbone weapons are half the weight of a normal weapon, and they will do 1 extra damage die of fire damage for their respective dice.
Oh my god.
There's no way we could combine those with the adamantine, is there?
No, it's a you can make adamantine weapons. You can carve a bone into a weapon.
One or the
You can't
other.
really do both. Yeah.
I actually can I be cheeky for 1 second and ask a question?
Like you're ever not.
I am. Could I add another tine to my whip so that it's essentially still doing exactly the same thing, but now it just has 2 little things on it, and because it's a bone, it would be very light in theory, so it shouldn't interrupt with the first tip so much.
Okay, but you can only have a D4 in that case.
Only a D4 of fire damage?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a tiny.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's fucking great because that's awesome. That's an adamantine fire tipped whip.
Oh,
That's
that
sexy.
That would be pretty useful, having a pair of those daggers. Should I be down to no more spells? 2 daggers in my hand that have a little extra heat to them probably isn't. Don't know how to knife fight.
Yeah. And let's see, for Mott, you could reinforce your shield with let me tell you what the dragon scale mail or dragon scale shield will do.
Right.
The scale mail is +1 AC, requires attunement, immunity to fire damage, and advantage versus fear effects. Shield requires attunement, and it grants 1 legendary resistance per long rest to the wielder. And
Gotcha.
a legendary resistance is if you fail a saving throw, you can choose to succeed instead.
And it's a choice of one or the other.
There's enough scales for anybody who wants them, but obviously the scale mail is quite heavy, and not everybody uses a shield.
Well, the
That's up to-
shield, do you have to have proficiency? Because someone could literally use that to help with their
Yes, you do.
resisting a redshift event, right? Like, can we use that as a filter for protecting
I can use
against
the
the
shield.
redshift saving throw when you do buckery?
Those are not saving throws.
Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. Is there maybe the wing skin possibly be able to make like a robe by any chance?
Yeah, those are the other things. So there's enough for 2. That also requires attunement. And once per long rest, you can take an action to make each creature within 10 feet of you dex save or take bludgeoning damage and be knocked prone. And then after doing that, you can fly up to half of your speed, landing or falling where you stop.
Oh, that sounds really useful. Yeah, I would take one of those, and then does anybody else wear only cloth?
No, I wear.
I can wear leather, just no
leather.
metal.
I wear studded leather.
Yeah, is there a way you can set those extra damages to be separate instances or separate types? I think you put it on you put the fire damage on your sneak attack. I think it's your problem.
Yeah, I did put the fire damage on my sneak attack. Did it add it as just a 1d4 and roll that correctly? Well,
Yeah, it did roll it correctly.
all right. I wanted it to say sneak attack and fire. Oh, it does right below it.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that, I'm okay with that.
Go put the fire damage on the top damage because that's where it is.
Got it.
It's not on your sneak.
Okay. Oh, that
and-
makes actually way more sense. Yeah.
Okay, so just in summary, 2 petrified dragon eyeballs, usable as foci, and they work as an orb for the scrying spell if you want it. Otherwise, those are just going to sit around.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, nice. I like
Do
that.
you add that to my
useful.
inventory? Or do I have to add that to my inventory?
I can scry as well.
You can add a 3-pound dragon orb to your inventory if you want.
Do
There's enough fangs and claws for that. Looks much better, Albus. There's enough fangs and claws for 60 pieces of ammunition that do a extra damage die of fire damage each. So like arrowheads and bolts and throwing knives and stuff.
Is there? Yeah, I was going to ask if I could get like a claw or two. Could I make bullets out of them that did the same thing?
Oh, for your sling? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you get more or the same?
It's just going to be 60 ammo in total.
Okay. For everything, everyone. So that's 60 between us all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the bones can be carved into weapons. There's enough for anybody who wants them. Same for the scales. Anybody who wants dragon scale mail and or a dragon scale shield should speak up.
Yeah, I want a dragon scale shield. I think the dragon scale mail is actually lower AC than what I'm wearing, not counting its immunities and stuff. But
That's
Probably
better
'cause
for
you're
Naya though, right?
right. Yeah, it's one better and
she's
immune
like-
to fire.
She's like, my
Well, her scale mail already gives her fire
Yeah.
resist.
No,
Oh, we're-
immunity.
Yeah, we're talking immunity.
Oh. Okay, I was more interested in the shield because she just has a plain old shield. So any
yeah, both
upgrade
would
to
be
her
great for
shield
you.
would be great.
Both would be fantastic
you
for
could
you.
take both if you want.
Okay, I would be up for that.
Let me.
Do I need to
copy
roll
the-
something?
Nope. Okay, so those are the two. Those are the stats for the two items.
So dragon scale mail is +1. So right now she's using scale mail that gives her an AC 15. Is this become an AC 16?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Shield requires attunement, grants 1 legendary resistance per long rest. Does it have any kind of a weight reduction or a AC something or other? Right now, her shield.
If anything, it would be heavier, but no, I'm just going to make it the same as a regular shield for weight.
I thought that Dragonbone was lighter.
Those are dragon scales.
Oh, dragon scale. Okay. All right. So her current shield is AC 2, and that's all it says.
Yeah, so that's still going to be AC2, and it will also grant that 1 legendary resistance.
Okay. Yeah, both would be great. Anything, just, even the slightest improvement is going to be a big deal to her because there's not much that she can wear.
Yeah, okay, so jot those down in your inventory and make sure you update the descriptions for them. So
Okay.
you might want to put into your resistances and immunities as well that you have immunity to fire and advantage versus fear effects.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Let me add all this stuff.
Yep. So Nimbus is taking a mantle and Albus is claiming a mantle?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a dex tank. I'm sure those are famous last words, but DC 20 dexterity saving throw is something I could feasibly make.
No,
So,
those are your enemies who have to make that.
oh, sweet, nice. Okay, I thought you had to make that, or else it shoots out from under you or something, like a hang glider.
No.
No.
You do the effect. You cause the wind blast to happen.
You're saying
You
that
knock down everybody around you.
the Dragon
I like
Wing
that.
Mantle does or doesn't have fire immunity?
It does not have any fire immunity. That is
Okay.
just the scale mail.
Yeah, I would also like a mantle, though. Just that's a great way to get people off me as a glass cannon and a last resort.
All right.
Sir, you said immune to fire and resist to fear?
Advantage versus fear effects.
Okay, thank you.
And because this is roll 20, I have to add it to my inventory.
You do. Those dragon bullets, you guys that you're picking up, they do a bullet's worth of damage of one extra die of fire damage, same as the bone weapons. If you're getting a dragon bone weapon, just add a single damage dice of fire to your weapon. Oh, also, dragon bone weapons are half the weight of a usual weapon
Nice.
of the same type.
How much does the dragon wing mantle weigh?
That will be the same as a cloak. So that is, I would really love to just like look at a regular cloak on this item list, but it's not.
I think cloaks are clothes, so it doesn't have a weight.
You're right.
It's not counted for in the simulation.
Simulation sucks.
I'm sorry, boss. I also believe that because magic items like this should, maybe account for something. But I mean, clothes are clothes. It's the reason why I was able to carry the entire
you know how we figure
Morio
this out?
wardrobe.
You know how we figure this out? We look at the clothes travelers and we look at the clothes common, and we see that they have a 1 pound difference between them. So that's a cloak. It's 1 pound.
Okay.
You know what?
I've
There you
been
go.
to
I'm
like
okay with
6
that.
different Clothes Travelers concerts. They're okay, but
Yeah,
the harmonic gets a little over the top.
Nice. I'm really looking forward to having an adamantine tip to my staff.
Oh yeah, the adamantine stuff should be ready to go by now as well.
Okay, cool.
Nice. The bullets do. You put it in there, didn't you? No. What did the bullets do?
An extra dice of fire damage, same as the weapon.
Okay. Yeah, bullets already just do like 1d. What is it? 4?
Naya, I think you're the only person who's got a lot of attunement right now. Do you have any other magic items that you're attuned to? I don't think.
Just a sec. Let me turn off this edit. Okay,
Yeah.
adamantine tipped quarterstaff. Where do I add the guaranteed crit? Under what?
That's hard to add in Roll20. Just
Okay.
Yeah, just we'll just know that it's a guaranteed crit and double the damage anytime you attack an object with it.
All right. I don't do melee much, but I might now.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you can
where?
knock a table in half if you have to.
Right. Now, what are you looking for?
Yeah. How does an adamantine tip like? Do you just like break boards?
You break shit in melee.
I mean, if it's at the end of a quarterstaff, you're trying to knock down a door. You
No.
at the end of it.
Yeah, so I can see a quarterstaff real easily. That's some wizard shit, druid shit.
That's some ninja. Ninja shit.
So what's a whip like with an adamantine like tipped blade at the end of it?
I have to imagine it's more of like a knobby thing than a sharp thing at that point. So you've got like this like bola at the end of the whip that you can hit things with at very high speed and very high PSI.
Okay. So I think it's back to piercing damage then. I'm not doing slashing damage anymore.
Yeah, but I think that makes sense. Piercing is fine.
Okay. It's more aesthetic shit, but still, I just wanted to think about what would that look like? And that's also ninja shit. Like that's something that would be in a Bruce Lee movie.
Sir, there was something I need to add. I don't remember now what it is.
You got your armor and your shield, right?
Oh, how'd you do
right.
that?
Quarterstaff, armor, shield.
Attunements.
Attunement. Okay. Oh, I think I didn't put that in. I wrote it down.
Well, you need to attune to both the shield and the armor, Naya.
But there was also a ring.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Okay, wooden ring.
Thought that ring required attunement.
How does attunement work in this operating system?
Should I remove?
You can only have 3 attunements.
Should I remove the
I
thing
don't
that
have
says
anything
fire
else to do.
retardant armor and just take it out?
You can if you want to, because that's not doing anything for you at this
Right,
point. if
okay.
You don't want to wear it anymore.
But I don't want to carry it. So she might stick that back in her chest back at base or something.
You could donate it to my museum once it's opened.
Right, there we go.
Very well used armor.
Right.
Used by the hero Naya.
Her fine clothes have been
Legendary
sitting there in a
druid.
chest this whole time because she's never worn them. Fire retardant armor.
Can't
Get
you
rid of
feel
that.
the magical ley lines just drawing themselves near these clothes? This was worn by the great arch druid Naya. Survivor of the
Exactly.
Redshift campaign. Well-worn clothes, my butt. No, these are a legendary heroes item.
There you go.
Legendarily worn.
Okay, so I deleted the fire resistant armor. I've updated that. There was something else I needed to. Oh, attunement. I did not actually add anything about the wooden ring. The wooden ring needs attunement, as I recall, and I think that was it. The diamond encrusted bracelet was just for the diamonds. There was no magic to it.
Correct.
And she didn't grab a whole bunch of like extra coins or money or anything. But she grabbed diamonds because those were needed for certain spells. So she carries that diamond encrusted bracelet, and she's got a pouch of 100 gold piece diamond dust. And that's pretty much it, and there's for spells. So I'll make a note about the ring and the dragon scale armor, but I think that's it.
The ring, the armor, and the shield all require attunement. So
Okay.
Naya, you're full up on attunement.
Okay.
What ring was that, Alice?
The ring I slipped on your finger when you went out during the Dragon's Horde.
Boom, 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 boom.
Also, the mantles require attunement too.
It's a gold ring.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, so it's been sitting on your finger the
Yeah,
entire time.
is that where that came from?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Yeah, that was the point, homie.
No. Don't you remember you went down during the fight, like passed out? And I grabbed
Right.
your ass. Yeah, I slipped on one of the rings from the horde under your finger. You're noble. You got to wear these shit.
Right. Well, I mean, I have my signet ring. I didn't really notice that.
Just
there was
never
another
looked
one.
at that other one there that was just there, right? Just kind of there.
Yeah, I have my signet ring and I wear it, but I don't think about it.
All right. So has everybody got the loot that they wanted from Omnithivus?
Yeah, so there was
Yeah.
I got the mantle, I got
no loot,
two
but that's okay.
daggers. I got the adamantine dagger as well.
Yep.
And what was the result of that blood, or she hasn't figured out what to make with it yet?
That's
and I
right.
got the eye.
Sum total from the blood is 3 each of a potion of vitality, a potion of major healing, and a potion of heroism. So 9 potions total.
Wow.
The potion of heroism do?
It
Buff stats, homie.
It grants the effects of bless for 1 hour.
Neat.
So you said we all get 3 of those?
No, there are 3 of each.
Oh, okay.
Vitality removes any exhaustion, cures any disease or poison affecting you, and for the next 24 hours, you regain the maximum number of hit points for any hit die that you spend.
The potion of vitality, did you say?
That's what Vitality does, yeah. And then there's major healing potions.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. It's a potion of greater healing.
Yeah, I like one of all three.
Let me just copy the text. That one. All right. Well, you guys sort those out in your inventories. I will be right back. About 60 seconds.
Potion of vitality.
Yeah, I'll take one of those potions of heroism just to hold on to. That might come in handy.
Just to hold on to.
Yes,
Can I just
yeah.
have that to hold on to?
Well, I mean, if anybody's going to need it in the middle of a fight, it's
Yeah.
probably going to be Lauren, let's be honest.
Fair enough.
Right.
I'm usually kind of front line with my hammer.
Remind me again
And
what
I'm
Bless
usually
does.
trying to keep everybody alive.
Yep, fair enough.
And what
Let
is
me-
this potion of greater healing?
Yeah.
What does Bless do
What
again?
does the heroism?
Bless is a D4 that you can use anytime you make an attack or a save. It may be an attack check or save, but is it at least attack and save?
Cool.
So heroism gives a bless and what else?
10 temporary hit points.
Are there 3 of those?
Yeah.
Can I get one?
I took one and Albus took one, so there is one available if nobody else is gonna.
I feel like I'm up front with my hammer quite a bit.
Go for it.
It's just attack and save. I looked it up.
I'm gonna grab it.
It's just what and save?
Attacks and saves.
I'm back.
That's
Our
less-
inventory
yeah.
started.
There
I think we
are
at least got
2 more
some of it sorted.
potions, or sorry, there are 2 more sets of potions to take care of. So 4 potions in total. That is, we have taken care of all 4 of the greater health potions or heroism.
No,
That was heroism?
I just
The
took
3 heroism potions were distributed.
Okay.
Do they have a level?
You took one of
associated?
the potions of vitality, right?
Yes, also one of the
So
greater
there are.
healing.
Okay, so there are 2 potions of vitality and 2 potions of greater healing.
4 potions.
I figured
left.
give the greater healing to the druidess that does the healing.
It doesn't.
It's not a
You
bad
can't.
idea.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
force it down someone's mouth, like hold their mouth open, just go. Drink it.
yeah, exactly.
No, so
Tilt
she
the
can
head
heal
back,
herself.
elevate. Right.
No,
Well, now we should
you give
continue
her the
healing.
potion
Right.
so she can heal herself and then heal other people.
So you want me to take one?
It might be wise.
I'm just thinking it might be important. Right. Also, yeah, exactly. Fix your own oxygen mask before you fix the oxygen mask of the child. next to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
it might
called
be very
potion of
wise.
what?
Greater healing,
Okay. All right, I'll take one.
and its effect is the first paragraph. In
If
that
you wanna-
post from Sir.
Sound more in character. This is Verde writing 101. Just call it a
Yeah.
potion of greater health.
No, I know. Yeah, table talk happens, man.
No, the potion of greater
performs
healing.
healing.
Yeah, potion of greater health. Because you feel healthy.
You,
afterwards.
you cannot heal the village till you heal yourself, woman. Right? Am I right?
Am I right?
Why am I
All right, I added it.
Scottish? I don't know.
Because you're a dwarf.
I guess. Yeah, I guess I am. I am.
It's been
I am a
established
dwarf.
deep in
Ah!
history that all dwarves are going to be
We're
Scottish.
going to be in some way Scottish. Thanks.
And Ash is
think that probably
not a sponsor
started-
is going to break that.
Started with Games Workshop. Actually, I'm going to go all the way back.
That's actually super insensitive. What it really is actually that the larynx of a dwarf is different from the larynx of a human. So when they try to make common speech,
So when they
it just
try to
comes out
speak- Ah,
sounding kind of Scottish, but like all you
That's a good
goddamn
one.
humans they're all Scottish. Brr.
No, so they were
You wanna
doing
know
also,
something?
is that what you're saying?
That reminds
It's
me.
so bad. It's
Boys.
No. So that actually reminds me of a study that I recently watched
There's a huge
that was
Venn
supposed
diagram
to talk about what Neanderthals might have sounded like, and because of their shorter stature and wider disposition, though maybe not as short as dwarfs, right? We think, right, that we don't know, but we think they actually had higher pitched voices, right? With what is it? It's deeper tones, right? But higher in general. So they might have talked a lot like this, right?
Hey!
Kind of high pitched, but also like there's this deep undertone to it. But that's just because of how much like
I love your
room that they had.
tunic there. I love your tunic. Where'd you get that one?
Oh,
Where'd you
God.
get that? Don't you know it's beautiful?
So what you're saying is the Geico commercials were actually right all along.
We're just saying the more north you go, the more you start actually sounding like
No,
oh,
the Neanderthal.
you're sleeping with the funny looking guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't you know?
Geico
Oh,
used to
Jesus,
have
I
a bunch of
started-
commercials with metrosexual Neanderthals.
Yes, I remember.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Wow, they did a whole they even did like a season of a
A
TV.
TV show, yeah.
Yeah, they got really mad about it.
I identify that as the beginning of the like decline of commercials into the hell that we are within today.
I love the Geico
That's great.
Neanderthal commercials. They were awesome.
Even
It was like the
caveman
last
can
of
do
the
it.
real good commercials. There was also Billy Mays.
I'd
I
like
will
to say,
always
I'd like to
remember-
say publicly on twitch.tv, fuck Geico. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no. I was just the commercial itself. Was
I want to
Their
pulp
field.
the lizard into
Wow.
fine paste.
Just one little shit. Hold on, I'm gonna sell you some insurance.
Just
put him on the body.
If I
trail
had
behind.
the opportunity, I would pick him up and snap his neck with my thumb.
No,
What?
my God.
Look, you guys, look, it's a gecko like Geico. What?
Drink his innards like a juice pack.
Just
All right, sponsored. That's my sponsored segment.
yeah, exactly. We'd like to thank Geico for nothing. In fact,
That's
Take it all.
bloodlust. All right, let's play D&D now that you guys got your magic items, your loot.
Ooh.
Time is passing. Redshift is passing.
Pontus. I just want like some tabards and shit with the symbol on.
He is already working on it.
Understandable, beautiful, fantastic.
He got the message. The Arsa and Eska were like, I forget who suggested it. One of you suggested it. Were asked about the colors. It's
That was me.
yeah, really just a simple gold / brass color. Nothing too phenomenally out there.
Beautiful, simple. I like it. I did also want to talk to Shark too, but finish the Pontus business.
Yeah, so Pontus has sheets and sheets and sheets of blue fabric laid out, and a good amount of thick brass colored thread, or he might be using paint in some cases for some of these fabric paint. And he will be hard at work putting these together for anybody going out northeast.
Random question: Is the Empire's livery red?
red, and it's
God, it's a red versus blue scenario.
they've got a lot of red and a lot of blue and a little bit of green.
Ah, okay. Never mind then. Just for a second there, I was wondering if we were inadvertently setting up the next grand war, red versus blue.
No, they'll be fine. Uh, yeah. Okay. So he's gonna work on those. When you guys head out next, you'll have a couple of banners that you can bring with you whenever you're planning on going in that direction. Less makeshift than a bedroll.
Good.
We should outfit the folks going to Gamery. I mean, I assume that's going to be us, to be fair, but we should wear the costume when we go.
A good idea.
Well, I mean, when this area is established, I mean, you're just playing the part of the governor of the new Veshan province.
Right. Exactly.
It's not even a costume at that point, unless you're just showing how much disdain you actually have for noble procedures.
No. I'm saying we should look the part.
Yeah.
What are we doing with Sharp?
Yo, so I wanted to check up on how he's feeling about the whole establishing an agency. I've come into a lot of gold as of lately, and I've already made / sent some letters. I'm trying to make some movements, and I also feel like maybe some good connections could be made here with our dear close friends, the kobolds.
He says, I have been talking to these kobolds a bit. Show some promise. Not for the club, for themselves, I mean. They want to work, they want to be useful, they want to build things up. Less like dragons. More like people.
Well, yeah. They are little dragon people.
Indeed. They don't share any of the compulsion for destruction or treasure hunting that their master used to, which I found a little surprising. It seems he didn't rub off very well on them.
No, not at all. It's actually very good.
So, your little pal Kimmick has been. I've talked to him a couple of times, and I don't know if he's mentioned this to you, but he's pretty eager to get back to that volcano of theirs.
Yes.
And once there, it seems they've, for lack of a better term, I'd say they've sort of elected him king already.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
So, no, I've been doing my part to make sure we stay ingratiated with these folk, and I think we can establish a good working relationship with them up there. Volcano isn't the best place for people like you and me.
No.
But the kobolds like it.
Yeah.
So while we live, somewhere else. Well, what are you thinking? That museum of yours? And what, you want my help?
Oh, so the museum is a side enterprise, of course, in order to help to lay the establishment for my wing of, let's call it, agency, the guild, right? It's going to start off as a small agency, but I would seek larger than that. What I'm seeing now, though, through this setup is I would absolutely love to keep the kobolds outside of the guild's direct influence, and would rather ingratiate them to become members of the guild on their own terms if that's their desire. By doing so, I was wondering if you had connections with artisans and people who might demand things that the kobolds could create for them inside of their fortress there. See, I noticed that they have quite an extensive workshop that they could set to use in order to make themselves richer and allow
Well, I'd say
themselves to build up.
might be some kind of interested in that.
That's good to hear. Likewise, I was going to ask if you might be interested in putting forth the paperwork to join and or create an umbrella agency of your own, or be transferred to my upcoming umbrella agency that is going to uprise and become its own agency in due short time. I do not want to wait for the bureaucracy of 5 to 10 years. I'm aiming for two under the guidance of them, and then 3 finally to make my own decisions and change the guild for the better.
That's a good plan, I think. Let me tell you this. I've been working a long, long time to get out from under the thumbs. Alcoze owns a significant bounty on my head. A debt, that is.
How much do you need?
Well, I think after this is all done, I might have what I need.
Ah,
I might also say this is just a wild thought. That old ancestor of mine who picked up that wild box I've been hearing all about. What if instead of finding it and destroying it, you and I took that thing and used it to rip this club apart? And we could rebuild it how you like, I suppose.
you know, the repercussions of using the box without the device that's within the tower is uncontrolled. They left rips in space and time as an after effect.
Yeah, sketchy as fuck, I think are the words you were looking for.
Well, you've never thought about walking into the headquarters and sending those council heads through a rift in space and time, have you?
Mm, no. See, I always imagined them working for me.
I always imagined walking in through the front door if we were going to do it at all, but okay.
And having them enter through the helper's window. That's what it was called, the helper's window.
Well, right, I'll have to think on it. I don't know. I've always been a big fan of my idea here.
It's certainly interesting, to say the least. Know that you can trust me to not let the idea fall out of my head. It is safe.
Good. Well, we'll call that Overseer Grandtassel's first job then.
Overseer Grand Tassel. Not yet, but nice.
Soon enough, right?
I love that your promise is, I won't forget your crazy ass idea.
And likewise, the long game is always here as well. This land that is being affected, let's just say destruction of the device is not maybe the idea. We're thinking maybe diplomacy with the device would be a better one. Mayhaps I
You can ask
don't.
it for a favor.
Yeah, see, you're thinking a little bit more along the lines that I'm thinking. I might not even have to touch it.
Sounds like we have a deal for now, though.
Perhaps. We have to see what's in the tower first.
Sure, I'll be right behind you.
All right, with that, I'm going to take my leave. And then dock to myself, wait, Holtzmann is related to Sharp? Holy shit.
How would we know that? How could we prove it?
I mean, he does look a lot like him.
I was
Yeah,
going
but
to
that
say,
doesn't mean anything.
does he have green eyes?
That doesn't mean anything either.
I don't think he has green eyes.
Nope, no green eyes.
I mean,
I mean, those are just black. I mean,
Sharp might
clearly
think
there's
that
there's
that's
some
his ancestor,
yeah.
but then how do you prove that? Because I'm not into any of that unless he can actually prove it.
Agreed.
And
Yeah,
all
right.
that would do is explain what sounds kind of like an obsession.
Right.
Sharp.
Family generational obsession.
Right.
And Sharp hates the guild. I know that. Kind of why I wanted to use him to help rehabilitate the guild, make it better.
He's not been unamicable to the idea of rehabilitation, but he's a little more.
Definitely more aggressive.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Would definitely be interested to know why he thinks that that's his ancestor and if he can prove it.
He's a pretty smart guy. I'll take him at face value for it. I might talk about it over dinner sometime when we haven't just discussed, doing what's not shady, but potentially very shady shit in my guild of employment.
This was a few years ago now, but you do know that back when you first met him, Dex did find out and inform you that Holtzmann was a disgraced family name for one reason or another.
Oh man, that is some obscure line of nothing that we would have remembered at the time.
Yeah, I don't remember that, but it's like, oh, your family's name is Buttholington? Oh,
Sharp, I think Sharp is a good guy to when it comes to things that aren't the guild.
Malaren, you got 4 kids hanging out in town right now.
Fair enough. I'll have to remember to keep an eye out.
wow.
Do you remember?
Winger.
You remember what he said about the kobolds? Like he wants the kobolds to remain independent, and my in with that is the fact that I also want them to maintain their independence. I just want to be the person supplying their manufacturing,
Yeah, for sure.
which is honestly that's an uplifting piece of economy. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, motives aside, that's not actually a bad thing there. I'm just saying the sharp's a little vindictive. I'm never getting on that dude's wrong side.
Yeah.
Right?
It's okay. He's only a wizard. He's got like 12 hit points.
Right, but also like fireball.
Nice. Also, nice. Very nerdy jokes. Keep the
Lulu
nerdy
needs to get
jokes
in that
coming.
big-ass spell book too. Yeah,
Yeah, Lulu would be interesting. She always struck me as a little naive and
Well, what you got written in that big ass spell book?
Well, I
Does
mean,
Sharp,
she's
does
a.
Sharp know about the spell book?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I suppose
okay,
Sharp would
good.
probably want to check it out too.
yeah. Most spells in the player's handbook. In fact, yeah.
Yeah, I've got most of the spells from the player's handbook. Actually, that's what I'm called.
No,
And
no,
a few
but
extra ones too.
The
But no,
big
I would-
spell.
Well, yeah, including break the fourth wall.
I would, probably talk with Lufael about it and say hello to Ruby and everybody, and kind of take a chance to say hello to everybody in the B squad and all the other folks we don't get a chance to usually.
I'm working on my tribute song too.
See
Yeah,
how
they have
everybody's
been.
doing.
For now, they've been helping with the big move over to All Saints. So it's mostly downtime after moving day for them. Lily says, Brigadier wants us to go north. We're going to try to see if we can find any more turf near the edges of the desert. Kind of not quite the same direction you guys all went. Maybe there will be something else there. But I guess we have to wear these big flags and carry around a banner the whole time. Kuro's probably going to do that. Yeah,
I could-
In
I can
the desert,
people,
you're
but
fine,
I can
but
teach
once you get
anyone the
past
song.
yeah, while we're in the desert, you're just fine. As soon as you cross that river, that's where they appear. So you don't have to
Right.
burden yourselves. You can get practice carrying the, but legitimately won't need anybody carrying that cross.
But even so, anyone that's like really talented with a musical instrument, come sit with me while we're in our downtime here. I'll teach you the song, and that song helps. Like that'll drive it off a little bit.
Kuro is good with the loot.
Rock and roll. Let's do
All
it.
right.
I got time, right? Like as long as I got time, I'm willing.
Oh yeah,
to
you
teach.
got a whole week. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm totally willing to teach. Especially if
so-
that'll like I don't know, maybe hone my wisdom.
If only the simulation accounted for that.
I know, right?
So before we wrap up,
My wisdom is
Um,
actually 20 and I get a +5. So it's like not that I need the bonuses,
Yeah,
but hey.
Yeah, but I've
Um,
seen my own self roll shit rolls with a 20 plus.
Yeah, I rolled shit rolls all the goddamn time in this fucking engine.
I don't want to hear it.
yeah. So before we wrap it up, is there anything else that anybody wants to happen before the end of the Redshift and the start of the next Wayne?
That would be the Speak with Dead. However, I think we should probably suss out those questions over the chat so that way you have a chance to anticipate what we're going to be asking.
Can we start with like stories Bones tell or something like that? So we're not like actually
Well,
stirring the.
You could do
stirring
it. You could do it that way. I mean, you can cast Speak with Dead more than one time as well.
It's a 10-minute delay between casting.
Well, it's also a 10-day.
Or excuse me, not a 10-minute, 10-day. Yeah.
But you're gonna have 10 days, between redshifts. So like that's not a huge problem if you're worried about it. Basically, if you want to do it now, that's fine.
Yeah, I
Otherwise,
suppose if
you
you're
guys
going to let
prefer-
us cast it twice, we might as well do the first one now. We'll do like the one before the Redshift ends, the next session.
I'm good either way.
up to the party. You guys want to speak with Dead, or you want another week to hash out those questions?
Yeah, let's
I think
hash out the questions. How many do we get? We get 5? right?
You get 5.
Yeah, 5.
Now
We should take some time.
Let me remind you that there are some conditions to speak with dead. Where has it gone? The corpse does not return the creature's soul to its body, only its animating spirit. Thus, the corpse can't learn new information and doesn't comprehend anything that has happened since it's died, and can't speculate about future events. Keep those in
Ghoul
mind.
GPT.
Can't speculate about future events.
That's fine.
Sorry,
Mhm.
Ghost GPT? I mean,
So you can't ask
Yeah.
a ghost if it wants to be alive again.
It's not a
Todd's
ghost.
dead.
It is.
Yeah, this is not that. This is like, this is.
You are talking to the body with all the memories it had before it died.
That's why I was like, can we do stories bones tell or something like that? That's less disruptive, it feels like to me.
You can't ask it
They're
then if it wants
Equally
to be
not
alive.
disruptive, it turns out. That's actually the point.
Ah, okay, cool. Well, I don't do either one of those. That's not the kind of magic I do, man.
Yeah, I was not aware of that. I just learned that just now. Like, to be clear, I'm not calling you out or anything. I'm saying, oh, that totally doesn't work the way I thought it did.
Oh, yeah, okay. You went and looked it up. I appreciate that. Maybe you, though. You're paladin-y, aren't you?
Sure.
You have some sort of, like, talk to the dead shit?
I'm not that kind of paladin.
Yeah, well, again, I'm a bard. I'm not that kind of bard. But I'm a bard.
I'm pretty sure that kind of paladin is called a death knight, and I'm definitely not that.
I'm not that, yeah.
Okay, guys, that is the session. Next time the redshift will clear up. You guys will have the chance to cast Speak with Dead. You'll get to finish your long rest. You can press the long rest button right now if you want.
God damn it.
Keen
I already
is
closed my character. I'll
on-
wait.
Exactly why I said, God damn it.
Keen is going to be on repairs this week.
Yep.
Repairs and upgrades. So
Whee!
you'll go without next session.
Yep.
And
Wherever we
we'll-
go, I'll go without.
We'll
Wise Keen.
play Redshift in 1 week.
I love that new rat pen.
Awesome. Thanks for the session,
Okay.
man.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
Thanks,
much.
Thank you,
Derby.
sir.
Everybody.
Thank you. Love you, mean it, everyone.
Good stuff. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah,
Cheers.
not everybody.
Good luck thinking of those questions. So I'll see you next time.
Right?